Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Storm King's Thunder. This is episode 12, right here, a Proficiency Bonus. My name is Michael. I am your most humble and merciful DM for this evening. Tonight is our Halloween party event, where we've got some very interesting costumes from all of our players tonight. So, without further ado, I just want to take us over to our overlay, so you can go ahead and check out all of our awesome Halloween costumes as we are rocking it tonight, fellas and ladies. So we've got Mulfin over there, sporting his old man gnomish attire. Lachlan sporting his he's even got the weapons. That is awesome. And we've got Zos is going kitty tonight, super awesome. And we've got Christy sporting her Kallista costume tonight. So it's amazing. That is awesome.
And we have you in your Zhentarim outfit.
Yeah, I'm dressed as one of the Zhentarim tonight, so we'll see how that goes.
Winning team Zhentarim.
Oh yeah, hashtag winners, right? Hashtag winners. And we got Josh back with us tonight. Josh is already spouting off in the chat with hashtag too spooky for me. Welcome back, Josh. We're glad that you're joining us tonight. I just want to do a few quick announcements before we get started. The first thing is we're not sure if JJ's going to be able to make it tonight or not.
JJ.
Last we heard, he was struggling right now. I believe he's in the hospital, so I hope that he can get out and he's okay. Haven't heard any details on what's going on, so make sure you guys keep him in your thoughts for tonight. So we're hoping that he'll be able to make it. Like I said, we weren't sure. We hadn't heard anything from him in the last couple of hours, so we're hoping he's okay. For our 100 follower giveaway, we're getting really close. We're at 83 followers right now. So if you are tuning in for the first time and you haven't hit the follow button yet, make sure you hit that follow button. Follow us on Twitch here. Once we hit 100 followers here on our Twitch channel, we are going to give away a hardback monster manual, a hardback adventure module of your choice, and also a set of dice. So that's going to be a really cool giveaway, so make sure you hit that follow button if you haven't already. So I also want to remind everybody that tonight we already have one viewer decision that's going to happen live on air. I also want to remind all of our chat and our viewers tonight that you, in your pocket, hold a Nat 20 that you can use at any point, and you also have a Nat 1 that you can use for any roll, whether it be one of the NPCs or one of our PCs tonight. So that being said, what we'll have to do is we might have to lay some ground rules, because we'll have to say maybe that 2 people in the chat need to chime in to make it like an official, so that way nobody just throws out the Nat 1 or Nat 20 without somebody in the chat agreeing. So those of you that are jumping into the chat, remember you guys have a Nat 20 and a Nat 1 to dish out tonight at some point. Also want to remind everybody, Matthew runs a live stream here on Monday evenings. He's running Tomb of Annihilation. I believe they'll be on episode 5 this Monday. Is that correct, Matthew?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay. Matthew will be running episode 5 of Tomb of Annihilation on Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, so don't forget to tune into that. Last time we were on air, we gave away a set of Tomb of Annihilation dice, so one of our lucky viewers was sporting those today on Twitter, so it was really cool. Also want to huge shout out to Team MZ for all their support of us smaller streamers. Also a shout out to the Many-Sided Dice, and they have a book, an awesome book of Magic Compendium. It has a bunch of magic items for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. It's called Lost Artifacts of Greygast. And they've kind of partnered with us, and they're offering you a discount on the book just for being a part of our channel. I believe that the code is still good. I'm going to go ahead and let Matthew, can you do the Lost Artifacts thing in the Twitch chat for me?
Yep, already in process.
There's 2 codes that you can click on to get that book at a discounted proficiency bonus price, just for tuning in, just for watching, just for following our channel. So that's our way of saying thank you, but also our way of partnering up with Many-Sided Dice to get their awesome compendium out there to you guys. So we want to thank you guys for tuning in again. We're so glad that you're here with us. And we are going to be diving right in to our... We're going to be diving right in tonight. So, well, actually, wait, we got one more announcement. I forgot to flip my card over. See that? My cheat sheet. Next week, unfortunately, I will be out of town again. I know this is terrible. I do have a conference that I need to attend on Friday night. So what we're planning on doing is having Matthew run a one-shot here. And I think what we're going to do is a hybrid. We're going to combine the Storm King Sunder and the Tomb of Annihilation parties together. And do it's gonna be sweet. East meets West, kind of all stars kind of deal. It's like, so it's gonna be an interesting night. I can't wait. I should be able to tune in. I'm hoping that I'll be done with all my conference stuff by 8 o'clock, and I'll be able to tune in. So once again, Matthew's gonna run a one shot from the channel. So if you are able to tune in, make sure you're here for that. It's going to be exciting. That's next Friday night for that one.
Hello, I want to play a game.
Matthew likes creepy voices, so just watch out. He will bust them out. So, quick recap from last week. Our party initially traveled to this town of Nightstone as a mission to speak peace between elves and the villagers of Nightstone. The elves were unhappy that a lot of these humans and other races were going into the Ardeep Forest to kind of trophy hunt and purge the treasures found within the elven ruins in the forest. Our adventurers went to Nightstone to find that it's been totally decimated by a cloud giant attack, where many boulders were dropped onto the city. It was abandoned, with many goblins raiding through what was left. They kind of made an alliance with a goblin named Gum Gum, traveled to the Dripping Caves where Hark, the goblin leader, was. They encountered Hark. Kallista decapitated Hark as a brown bear with her claws, and they re-established the Goblin Cave leadership, leaving Gum Gum in charge. They have rescued the villagers and returned back, only to find that the Zhentarim are kind of making their home here, and that they've met before, making their home here in Nightstone. A lot of things are going on. It seems as if Lachlan is communicating with Kella Darkhope, who's a member of one of the Zhentarim. It seems like from last week they have something kind of in the works, specifically talking about the Lion Shield Coster. I think is one thing that they've been talking about last week, is something they were hinting at. But Lachlan, in his wonderful ways, was keeping things from anybody who could hear by kind of masking what he was saying. Also, Diana and Kallista both were communicating with Xolkin to try to find some way to, I don't know if it was to communicate with Kella or to basically end Kella. I think Kallista's thinking more like end Kella.
Oh, you have no idea.
So where we left off, Kella was Diana was leading Xolkin away, because it seems like Xolkin and Diana have a thing going on, even though they've only known each other for a day.
True love, man.
True love.
Diana works quick.
And
True
they were
love.
leading off. Kallista went invisible and was following along. Kella started following suit of Diana and Xolkin. Kallista started to approach with her weapon drawn, Lachlan following close behind with Molfin and Tail behind him. Moby decided to lay down and take a nap, because it's been a long day. And where we left off, as Xolkin and Diana looked towards the approaching Kella stuck her scimitar into the ground in front of her, fell to her knees, crying into her hands. As we weren't really sure what was happening at that point. And
That's where we left off, yeah?
That's where we left off last week.
Oh.
So.
I'm pretty sure it's my fault.
Can I use my action now?
As the story is told, we now take you to Storm King's Thunder. Let me go ahead and change the music just a little bit. Let's set a little bit of a different mood here. I don't really like that for the mood music right now. Let's go with this. Yes, I like that. So, Kella is weeping into her hands, on her knees.
Okay.
Scimitar is sticking into the ground. Can you guys see on the map where everybody is located? I tried to kind of put everybody where they were last week. Can you guys see that?
No.
Yeah, I can.
Here, let me shift ping you. Oh,
Yeah.
that was weird.
Thank you.
Shift ping to where the action is happening.
There we go.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh.
So,
Yep.
first question is, Kallista,
Yep.
as you watched Kella drop to her knees, crying into her hands.
Before she can probably even get to her knees.
Okay.
I'm using advantage. I'm using my DM's inspiration.
Oh my
Good
goodness.
thing.
Well, it would have been an auto crit anyway because she didn't know I was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Around her neck.
Around her neck. Okay, you
Oh
are
my God, it
25
was
feet away, so
more
yes, you are there. And as she gets down and starts weeping, all of a sudden, Kallista's form starts to reappear.
And
Off to
as
the
a bonus
side.
action, I am beast shaping into a bear.
Oh, no.
So, as Kallista comes into form, you notice that not only is she just turning visible, but as you start to see the form of Kallista, this thorn whip shoots out of the ground. As Kella hits the ground with her hands over her eyes, it all of a sudden squeezes her arms as this thorn whip wraps around Kella, driving the thorns into her flesh. And you hear inside, under her hands, you start to hear her scream. And then as you're looking over towards Kallista, but Lachlan, you definitely notice this. Diana, you also definitely notice this. Kallista, as she's coming into view, is forming into the bear. And look at that. Yes. That is so awesome.
Time to kill!
Yes, Mr. Carrot Rope, it's Bear O'Clock already. Yes, it is. we are officially there. Bear O'Clock.
Does Molfin see how is Lachlan reacting to this?
How is Lachlan? What's your initial reaction, Lachlan, in these quick couple seconds?
It's basically this.
Lachlan, wide-eyed, he has no idea what is going on, but there is a thorn whip shot out, and now Kallista is in brown bear form. So, what I need everybody to do at this point is I need everybody to click on their tokens and roll initiative, please.
We could have talked to her. She put her scimitar around.
This is going to be interesting.
Ooh.
Xolkin gonna do? What's my boyfriend gonna do? Like,
What's Lachlan going to do?
Yeah.
What's Molfin going to do?
That's a really good question.
Well, whatever Lachlan's gonna do, it's gonna be last.
It's gonna be civil war. Just
And we still haven't had a long rest, have we?
You have not had a long rest, no.
We've had a short rest.
Yeah, but I don't
wait,
get my
I remember
portents
what
back in
spells
short
I have
rest.
and have not used. knocking off my
Okay.
spells. So I can get back.
Just because I'm concerned on what's happening here, I am going to burn my DM's inspiration on my initiative roll.
Ooh.
Ooh, okay. Sure thing.
All right.
So, roll number 1.
16.14.
Such a weird modifier.
13 plus pi.
There you go.
Plus 5.
And the
There
advantage,
you go.
Oh, look at that.
21.14.
Up with your numbers.
You know what it is? On the cogwheel on your sheet, there's
Yeah.
an option under initiative that says add dex tiebreaker to initiative. So if you have that checked off, it adds your actual dexterity score as a decimal point at the end of your
as
roll.
a tie
Okay.
break. Oh.
Oh, that's
So this way, if
Yeah.
Lachlan rolls and we both get a 20,
Yeah,
mine's a 14 and his is a 13, I get the win, I go ahead.
that makes
Oh, I see.
sense. My dex is higher than 13. Come on.
Well, yes, of course it is, but
Yeah, I know.
So, that being said, Molfin, you've just seen this happen. You saw Kallista's Thorn Whip shoot out, wrap around a kneeling Kella, unarmed,
Kella.
might I add.
No regrets.
And now you start to see her take her bear shape form. What would you like to do at this point?
okay. Now, with Thorn Whip wrapped around it, does Kella move at all, or is Kella right where Kella is?
Yeah, I love Stumpy's emotes in the chat. He's got brown bears roaring. What was that again, Molfin?
Did Kella move at all when she was Thorn Whipped, or did she just stay right where she was?
I
Stayed
could
right
have
where
pulled
she
her
was.
10 feet closer to me, so actually.
Oh, you want to pull her 10 feet closer?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you drug her 10 feet across the path into the grass, headed towards you just a little bit. As you stop dragging, your Thorn Whip releases from her and goes back into the ground as you take your bear shape form.
Yep.
All right, Molfin. It looks as
Okay.
if Kella is
Perfect.
still on her knees, but now has a bunch of lacerations around her arms and back of her neck.
Molfin is going to use his full movement to walk up, well, almost his full movement to walk up right next to Lachlan, and yell out into the somewhat darkness. It's still night, and it's still like midnight, right, or 1 a.m.
It is still
something
night.
like
There is some moonlight, so it's not like completely black. So you're able to see the forms in the moonlight, especially since this is kind of a cleared out area.
Let me check here. I had a plan. I completely forgot to check what I have left for spell slots. My entire plan may have just gone out the window.
How many spell slots does a cleric regain after a short rest?
Mr. Caro, pray for black-haired David Bowie from Labyrinth.
Thanks, Carrot Rope.
You guys are amazing. I love Twitch chat.
So, Molfin. Okay, that's going to change a little. Molfin is going to use actually his foot, moving a little closer to Kallista,
Okay.
and yelling out to the entire area.
What are you people doing? This is madness. Let's sit down and have a conversation about this.
And I am holding a spell for the first person who makes a move at Kella.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Woody?
All right. Molfin, remind me if I need to jump.
Oh,
in.
you're gonna need to.
All
Gonna
right.
be me.
So, is that the end of your turn then, holding that action, Molfin?
Yeah, I'm holding a single spell cast. The first person who makes an aggressive move towards Kella.
Okay, as Kella is sitting there kind of on her knees, she's looking towards Kallista's bear shape, who seems to be foaming at the mouth, looking at her back. and she looks towards her, and you see still the tears kind of coming down her face. Looking towards you, Kallista, she looks angry,
Good.
and she says, You're not gonna take this from me. And she pulls something out of her pouch and kind of throws it towards you. And it just kind of clinks and bounces off the ground in front of you. You're not really sure. You're in such of a rage right now as a bear. You're not really sure what it is. It looks like something just wrapped up in a piece of old cloth. And she throws it down and then immediately, off her knees, runs over, pulling out her scimitar, heads right towards Xolkin, and tries to slash at him with her scimitar.
I would like to use this opportunity to say that before we ended last week, I think as soon as I saw her coming up, I said that I used my cantrip to cast or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a
extra
shield of
armor.
faith. He has a
Yes.
shield of faith on him. Yeah. So that's increases his AC by 2, correct? Is that what that's what that does?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me look at my spells again.
Excellent.
I think it's either 2 or 4.
Okay, so
I think
I'm
it's
not on the
2.
tracker? Oh.
No, you didn't click your token.
Oh, I'll do
I
it
can see you
again.
rolled a 6, but I was looking to see where you said you were first. I was going, wait a minute, I don't even see her on there.
I'll redo that.
Where's my named NPCs? Because I know Kella's a named
That's a
NPC
6,
in
not a
here.
2.
Alright, yeah, I'll go in and I'll change it here in just a minute. So Kella is actually going to take... Actually, she gets to make 2 attacks, and she actually has a short sword. I was wrong, not a scimitar. So she's going to go ahead and take 2 slashes at Xolkin as she comes almost in a fit of rage with some of the thorn whip lacerations. Let's see. The first one, he's able to kind of dodge out of the way of the first attack. The second attack, she swings back around, coming at him. The second attack, I believe it may connect. It does, barely. Even with the shield, it busts through the shield, dealing 4 piercing damage as the sword sinks into Xolkin's flesh. You hear him kind of leave out a little grunt, Diana, as the sword hits home. And as the sword hits home, she casts a rage-filled look towards you. Almost just a very quick look towards you. And then looks back at him, looks back at you very quickly. And says, You don't know what you're doing. You don't know all this man has done. He's a savage.
Oh, wow.
And then it goes on.
That's rather...
to Rond's turn. Now, what I need from my chat is I'm going to... Rond is kind of up here. He doesn't really... He's going to start hearing the commotion right now. I want my chat, as a viewer decision tonight, to tell me how Rond, Arrowhome, and the elves are going to respond. You have 1 round before they start entering the fray. So I would love for, as a viewer decision, chat, Twitch chat, if you could let me know, throw me some ideas of what you'd like to see the elves do as this situation starts to escalate. I love getting chat involved.
Chat is right
Kella,
now.
Lachlan, and Mullen.
Stumpy, what?
Stumpy.
Oh, you know what it is?
Stumpy.
Stumpy's a bear fan.
Stumpy, yeah. Stumpy's on.
Team Bear.
Stumpy's team bear.
Ninja says subdue everyone. Ooh. We're gonna go to Xolkin. Xolkin, and now that the sword is pulled from his flesh, he's got Kella right up in his grill. Diana's standing kind of beside, just waiting her turn. And
Yeah.
Xolkin kind of just casts a quick gaze towards you. He's almost getting visibly angry as well. Obviously, somebody just put a sword into his flesh. He kind of looks towards you. He just says, Diana, sometimes people get in the way. And you see him take out this little glass, almost looks like a test tube. And inside of it, there is a liquid that looks like liquid metal. And he takes his thumb and he kind of pops the cap off the top. And and he starts to chug it. And as he's chugging this gray liquid, you can see like the veins in his neck almost start to pop out a little bit more. The veins, there's a big prominent vein on his forehead that starts to pop out, and he almost starts to he just starts sweating and glistening in the moonlight as he's finished up this thing. He takes the glass bottle and he shatters it down, and he basically, that's his action. So he just gets that ready, and then you see him reach down he grabs the scimitar handle, and he starts to pull out his weapon, and then you see him reach down to his boot, and then he pats the empty case where his dagger used to be, and he starts to get really angry.
I knew that.
So, that basically is his entire turn.
Oh no.
And that takes us up to the bandits don't really know exactly what is going on at this point in time. And I've got to change Kallista's to a 6. Was that right?
Yes.
Your initiative
6.
order? Okay, I'll change that.
6.
And I'm going to go ahead and realign those initiatives for you guys so you guys can see.
Morphin again!
No, not Muffin. Not Muffin. The bandits aren't really sure what's going on just at this point. Next time they'll get into the fray. The guards really don't know what's going on yet. So that brings us up to Kallista.
I don't care. I'm gonna move around whatever she threw at me and head towards her.
Okay.
No.
Stumpy potion of glass throwing. Yes, I love it. All right. The bear runs up, stomping.
Are you
through
gonna
the
stop me?
grass.
Does the bear look like it's going to attack?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Are you gonna stop me?
Oh no!
Oh
He's gonna do it. He's gonna.
Right, I am hitting right on the 4 of them.
All 4 of them.
Oh, the 4 of them?
All 4.
Ooh.
I have
Right
to do
Right now, that's where the drama is. We're removing all 4 from the drama.
So
What's he doing?
Okay.
all of a sudden, Mulfin, Lachlan, you notice Mulfin start these familiar incantations that you have gotten used to over the last couple of days. And underneath all the commotion, as Kallista's bear approaches, this bubbling greenish black liquid starts to just all over the ground underneath the feet of all 4 of these individuals. So I need Kallista, Diana, and Kella and Xolkin are all going to make dexterity saving throws to see if you keep your balance. What is the up? Christy is on her face.
Oh
It's a 14.
It's a 14.
Oh,
Diana has fallen too. Diana is into the grease, flat on her back.
Oh.
Let's see how Kella does with her
Malfin is
dexterity
so going to
saving
catch
throw.
crap for this, but
Everybody knows who it was.
Kella's on her feet.
Kella's on her feet. Let's see how Xolkin does. That's weird. They have a sheet for Kella, but they don't have a sheet for Xolkin. Interesting. That's fine. I'll come over here and use the sheet. That'll work. Make sure that I'm not whispering my rules.
I will use the rest of my movement to stand up and attack.
And Molfin is just still screaming at the top of his lungs for people to cut it out as he's releasing the spell.
Saving throw. So saving throw for Xolkin comes in, and he is also on his back. So as Diana's fallen, she like reaches out and grabs Xolkin and pulls him down too. they're both lying in the grease. It's bubbling all around them.
Together relationship. compromise. That's how marriage works.
That's how marriage works. So Kella is the only one standing, and now Kallista uses the rest of her movement to stand up in her bear form. She's kind of slipping and sliding as she does, and is going to attack. This is your first one, and second one.
The first, yeah.
The first one is going to miss. That would be your bite, correct?
Yes, and now it's my claw.
Your claw will hit, so you can roll damage for your claw attack.
Woo!
Ouch!
Woo!
Ouch! And those claws do some heavy damage as they rip through Kella Darkhope's armor, and you can see that there's blood running down her side as she is grabbing it with the hand that she has free of her short sword. Definitely wincing in pain, but also still a lot of just anger in her eyes. More towards as she's almost ignoring you, Kallista, to the point where she's just focused on Xolkin the entire time.
I figured.
Anything else that you would like to do?
No, I'm just growling at her and just trying to be as intimidating as possible.
Okay. Lachlan. That brings us to you, my friend. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna move behind this boulder over here and hide. Kind of watch things, see how things play out a little bit before I choose a side.
Go ahead and make a stealth check for us, Lachlan.
Alrighty.
Oh man. Favorite
Oh.
number.
Well.
Oh my god.
Lachlan's not doing a very good job of hiding.
Even the bear knows where he is.
Like my hair's peeking up over the boulder.
His hair is peeking up over the boulders. The sweat from the intensity of the moment is catching the moonlight and reflecting off of his forehead and everything. It's crazy. Uh-oh. Stumpy's calling for the nat 1.
On me?
I'm not sure. I think he's calling it on. Oh no, he was just.
Well, no, I think he's
He's just
calling it
yeah,
off.
because
Spawning.
Lachlan did a nat 1.
Yeah, Lachlan did the nat 1. He didn't even need a nat 1. He can roll it himself.
Stumpy summoned a nat
You-
1.
See, chat. You guys don't have to roll. You guys don't have to use the nat 1 on Lachlan tonight. He got them all covered for you.
Yep.
You might want to use him on Kallista. Kallista. Sorry. Got a little something stuck in my throat there.
Yeah, Mr. Carrot Road, Moobot is very, very evil. Still have yet to go in and change all those settings. Was that all that you were going to do, Lachlan, is hide?
Yep.
Okay,
Turn
so
over.
that brings us over to Diana, who is laying flat on her back next to Xolkin, watching as Kallista the bear is just brutally attacking Kella in the midst of the grease.
Oh my god, it's like a mud brawl or whatever.
Halloween, gotta keep it in theme.
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
Mud Brawl might be a good title for this episode. I'm gonna write that down.
I don't even know what to do. Oh my gosh, I'm so confused by what Ella said about not knowing what he's done, but like, what? So I'll just, not, I don't know. I'll turn to Xolkin and be like, what's happening? Boy, explain yourself. 'Cause
Boy.
then, what's happening? And then I'll, I don't know, can I grab Kella's ankles and yank her?
Yes. Sure.
I'm gonna grab her ankles and yank her down.
Okay,
as
she's
I'm
going
doing
to
that,
contest this. She's going to try to dodge it. So you're going to make a strength check versus her dexterity check.
Okay. Okay. As I am trying to yank her down, I will also. I have my eyes closed, so I don't see what that number is. I'm gonna go ahead and use DM's inspiration and hope.
Okay.
Ooh.
DM's
Okay, no, it's
inspiration.
bad. What was that?
So
That was a
Kella
bad
is
number.
going
That
to
was not worth.
dexterity check out of this to try to get out of it.
Can the chat room use its natural 1 now?
You guys actually tied on the check. I think if
Oh.
you tie, that means I think that means it just kind of like she grabs her leg and kind of pulls on it and nothing happens. I think is that how that ruling works?
I think it should mean that she trips, just because it's grease, so disadvantage on her.
I think we're gonna say that's even. Like she's just able to dodge out of it.
Okay.
No one really gains an advantage on that.
Okay. But as that's happening, I just want to turn. Well, once I miss her, I want to turn to Xolkin and just be like, "What is going on? Like, explain something to me." Like, okay.
He casts a quick look at you, and just you can see that he has changed. Something is different about him now. He doesn't look like the same Xolkin. He looks bigger. He looks kind of more gruesome.
Catch the next episode where Diana struggles with domestic violence.
Oh my god!
That went to a dark place.
Oh, that went to a dark place.
And
Halloween.
it's all Callista's fault.
I don't care. I'll take it.
And you can see the rage
I
in
will.
his eyes.
I will kill him too.
You can see the rage in his eyes, mostly focused towards Kella, and he kind of looks at you. Oh, thank you guys so much for the follow. We appreciate you jumping on board. I missed the name there, but thank you guys so much. We appreciate you following. Glad that you're joining us
Ben's
tonight.
looking for it.
Matthew/Molfin will find it. He's good at that.
Hopefully.
So, as you do that, Xolkin looks towards you, Diana. And you can see the rage in his eyes. He just casts a look, almost very quickly. He's kind of doing one of those things where he's looking at Kella, but talking to you, kind of thing. Leaning towards you, he's like, "She's not gonna ruin this for me." And then he looks back at you, Diana. She's like, "Sometimes people get in the way."
You know.
And it has been located. Leo Fire X.
Oh, welcome. We're so
Hey.
glad, Leo Fire X. Welcome to the
Sorry.
welcome to the adventure. We're glad that you're joining us. And that's really all he can really respond to you in that quick of a time. So that brings us up to Molfin. Molfin just got done putting a nice pile of grease down underneath these four that are kind of starting to scuffle there, right outside of this pumpkin farm in the middle of Nightstone. That's a perfect setting.
Appropriate.
Perfect setting
Yep.
for a Halloween episode.
Almost
right?
like it's scripted or something.
Who planned this out? I have no idea. That's all just, yeah, that's luck.
Molfin will take another couple of steps forward and once more.
Stop this foolishness. I assumed that would stop you. If that won't, this will. Fog cloud.
20-foot cube centered dead center on the four of them again.
20,
Obliterate it in smoke.
20-foot cube. That is
Or 20-foot radius.
20-foot radius.
Sphere. So it is just a massive basically 40-foot circle centered on them.
Hold alt.
That's awesome.
Question: is that an intimidation or persuasion? Or are you trying to convince us not to kill one another?
That's a very good point. I'll settle
Yeah.
for either one. It's the same roll for me, so.
20
I mean,
foot.
I don't know,
I'm
it's
gonna
fucking my-
guess it's like 20-foot radius, you said?
20-foot radius, so it would be, the radius is 4 boxes, the diameter would be 8.
Okay. Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's basically all of us are going to be blind.
I think Lachlan's the only one not in it.
I'm gonna loot everybody!
Well, I think I got the shape right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Right in the middle. Yeah, Lachlan is safe, but everybody else is completely in the fog cloud and standing on grease. So basically, you guys are all just... This fog just slowly starts to rise from the ground around you and totally engulfs all of you. You can't even barely see a hand, your own hand in front of your face, as this fog is just everywhere. Wow.
So they all have disadvantage on attack rolls,
Yep.
and when they end their turn, if they're still in the grease, they got to make a dex save.
Yep.
Yes!
And
also,
do I
do
need to
wanna-
roll anything if I'm trying to intimidate or persuade them to stop?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and that's more. You're kind of turning up the heat, so let's make that an intimidation check. And
Okay.
Ooh, wow. Let's
Come at the old man.
Grandpa Gandhi over here.
how will we contest an intimidation check? What would that?
For real.
How will we contest that?
Typically, I would say insight myself,
Yeah,
but
let's go insight. Everybody, go ahead and make an insight check. As
Oh, Molson. I'm fixing this.
oh, Diana,
Yeah,
you
well,
Molfin's getting to you, Diana, and also just the fact that you're really confused.
Nope, not at all.
Oh, Kallista doesn't
Nope.
buy it. Kallista does
Nope.
not buy
And
it.
nope.
I've
It's
got
very
people
in
yelling-
character. I love the role.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've
wait.
got people in the chat yelling for a nat 1 on
Oh,
someone.
oh, somebody said agree. There's 2. Kallista's becomes a nat 1.
This is the character. She's fed up with everybody.
The chat jumps in. Oh, I love you, chat. You just made it more exciting. Oh, like Kallista's checked out.
Oh no!
Oh no. Oh wait, Stumpy said my nat 1 was for Molfin.
Oh.
Oh.
But Mr. Carrot Rope, I think, was going nat 1 for.
Well, no, we got to figure it out now. We need people to chime in. Carrot Rope and Josh, who are your nat 1 votes for?
Yeah.
This is going to change everything.
Hang on.
Yeah,
character.
yeah. Josh
Ooh,
said
clock
nat
ticking.
1. So we've got one nat 1 for Molfin, and the other 2 want to jump in with nat 1s.
It's like a vote.
So it's gonna come down to this.
I don't want to chime in. Somebody post who's not involved. Lachlan.
Josh
shouted out in chat.
says for Diana.
What?
1-1.
I already
Oh,
rolled
wait.
one.
Yeah, Diana rolled a nat. Oh,
Oh.
We're in the future.
Josh may have been calling her nat runs. Now it falls all on Carrot Rope.
Mm,
Come on, Carrot Rope. This dictates how it all goes.
No pressure or anything.
no
Yeah,
pressure,
none
Carrot Rope.
whatsoever.
No
You were
pressure,
voting for
Carrot
Kallista, right?
God damn it.
Rope.
I'm a character. I'm a character fan.
Oh, Mr. Carrot. Mr. Carrot.
Yes. Oh.
No. Oh, Kaplan, nat 1 for Molfin.
Oh,
That's what you asked
Kaplan.
for. I didn't even ask
Kaplan's
to do it
next
to you.
game of Tomb of
Oh,
Annihilation is gonna go poorly.
Stumpy's like kept out of nowhere, dropping the nat 1. So, Molfin's roll actually becomes the nat 1. So even
Which makes it a 0.
which makes it
Oh,
a,
my
which
heart
makes
is
it a
racing.
0. So even with a rolling a 1, Diana, you have no fear of anything that Molfin is saying. Kallista, you are perfectly fine as well. Oh wait. Josh's was for Kallista.
Oh.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. If Stumpy and Kaplan, that's 2 for 1.
Yep.
I'm still out.
Yep, Molfin's still the odd man out. So thank you guys so much for busting in there. Now you guys got a nat 20 as well in your pocket there, chat. So make sure you let us know. And if you guys see it before I do, let me know, players that are
Alrighty.
jumping in the Twitch chat.
Okay.
So Molfin, your intimidation kind of falls on deaf ears, and blind eyes, and greasy feet. as it doesn't seem to affect the rest of the party, and that brings us up to Kella, who is very injured at this point, and looks again down towards Diana, still rage in her eyes, blood kind of pouring down, and just kind of the rage is, there's a hint of fear there. And she looks down towards Diana and says, This man kills innocents.
I mean,
This man throws children from bridges into moats. This man extorts gems and money from innocent families and imprisons their husbands. You don't know him. And she takes out her short sword and she tries to jam it down onto Xolkin twice, right next to you.
Go ahead, honey. Go ahead. You get him.
Diana's starting to change her mind as the short sword comes bearing down. I believe they have advantage if the person is prone, which Xolkin is. So these rolls both have advantage.
Well, it's straight roll because they're blind in the fog cloud.
They are blind. Yes, she's coming down. So these will be straight rolls.
As much as I'd love to see her wipe them out and, end the conflict, but...
The first one is going to miss, and the second one will barely hit as it pierces down into Xolkin's flesh. As it does, you hear... It's hard to see him, Diana, but you can hear him grunt again in some pain as this sword digs into his flesh. And then as she pulls out the sword, you hear Diana, you can barely see the motions of these silhouettes in the fog as this sword moves up and down, and you can hear her say, "The 7 snakes should be mine." And that brings us on to Ron and the elves. Now, I believe somebody in the chat said that the elves will approach the situation and will ready actions to see what transpires and takes place. So that's what I'm going to have them do. They are going to start to approach as, obviously, there's some yelling and screaming and weapons and a weird, strange fog that just appears in the middle of town. So they've got a speed of 30 feet. They are kind of jogging, but they're not in a really super big hurry. They're just kind of curious to see what's happening. And they're going to start to...
Okay, so we've got votes for subdue everybody. Someone else said elves move in creepy unison as they drop bows and ready in action to shoot the first foe to move threateningly that they can see.
They wouldn't shoot Diana, though, right?
Depends. Are you moving threateningly?
They can't see.
Yeah, nobody will be able to see. The only person they can see is Lachlan because he's terrible at hiding.
I have a +8!
I don't know how you rolling those ones.
His hiding was as bad as my intimidation. Oh, wait, that's right. That's all thanks to the chat.
Gotta love the chat.
Okay, I'd be salty too. I'm sorry about that, but not really.
So
I love you.
The elves are starting to slowly, cautiously approach, pulling out their longbows and getting arrows ready. And that brings us to Xolkin, who is lying in the foggy grease. He's going to use.
Actually, real quick, I forgot. Did Kella make her dex save to see if she's still standing at the end of her turn? She's still in the grease.
Oh, yes. No, she didn't. Let's go ahead and do that now. So Kella makes a dex save after she got done stabbing.
Come on, big roll, Kella.
And she falls.
Nope. She's on her butt.
She is down on the ground as she got done saying the 7 snakes should be hers. So Xolkin is going to use half of his movement to stand up. And Diana, you can hear that the rage is just overflowing. He's like just heavily breathing. He's starting to kind of like growl and like just get super intently angry. And he looks towards Kella, where he thinks Kella is, because he's just totally in the fog. He says, "You stole my dagger. You've been plotting against me this whole time. You're not gonna stop me now. You're not gonna stop me. Sometimes people get in the way, and right now,
What does that mean?
it's you." And he gets his scimitar out, and he's going to try to swipe at Kella. Now, he actually has 3 attacks.
Whoa!
And he is going to swipe at her twice. And then he's going to try to punch with his last attack because he doesn't have a dagger in his hand. So, here comes here comes the 3 attacks as 2 scimitar slashes come across. They will be a basic roll because of advantage because she's down, but disadvantage because of the fog. So here comes 2 scimitars.
Damn.
And I'm going to use the dagger as a melee attack, but it will have different damage because it's an unarmed strike. The first scimitar definitely is going to hit. The second one is going to miss. And the unarmed strike is going to hit. So the first one dealing 5 damage as it comes across. And you can see as this blade slashes across, you guys can see just a little bit of a spray of blood happen into the fog. And then finally you see him with one fist. He's kind of down almost on top of Kella. You can see just this silhouette of a fist come up in the air like this, and then it quickly comes down, and you hear the thud of a fist hitting her right in the face.
Ooh.
And then you don't see Kella moving anymore.
And he has to make a dex.
Yes, and he has to make a dex save. You're right.
I hope he falls flat on his face.
Dex save.
Yeah.
Here it comes. Dex saving throw. And he is fine.
He makes it.
So he's kind of like, he's almost like straddled on top of Kella. And then after you notice that, you just see him kind of like slowly like just upright his posture. And say, "You're not gonna mess this up." And then he calls out, "Snakes!" as loud as he can. And in the distance, you start to hear horse gallops.
We start to hear horses?
Horses galloping towards you. As he's going to get to about here. 20, 30, 40, 50. He's running past the scouts. He's going to get to there. And he is going to get to... He's going to get to about right there. Alright. And this one is kind of coming around the bend, but he's only seeing a cloud of fog. He's not really sure what is going on. That brings us up to the guards, who are starting to get curious about what might be going on. And they start moving as well. Double check their movement speed. It's 25. No, 30. So they start to move closer. It's about there. It's about there. It's about there. And they're kind of moving, approaching with spears in hand. That brings us up to Kallista.
Do I know that she's not moving anymore? Would I have known that? Can I see?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Not one.
What would have
I
been
have
the-
advantage on this because I'm a bear.
Whoa! Didn't even need it.
You catching the silhouettes in the fog, you kind of got the idea that she's unconscious and Xolkin is kind of on his knees, like straddled over top of her, like he just put a fist right into her face and pounded her down to the ground.
How mad am I?
Roll a d100.
You
know what? I will. You know what? I will.
Oh
She's gonna leave it
my
up to
God.
the dice. Ooh.
She rolls a 1 and she's penitent and decides to attack him instead.
Yeah.
Never know.
Oh my god, I wronged her.
35. How mad is 35, Kallista?
I think she's calmed down seeing Killa on the ground.
Okay.
If it was 100, I'd still be raging, so or any higher than 50, I'd still be raging. So I will back up for now to there.
Okay, I believe
And
you
just-
will have to make a dexterity saving throw so you don't slip out of the
Okay.
grease, right? Is that the way it works,
Yep.
Molfin?
No, it's only when they enter the area or end their turn there.
Okay, yeah, so
Okay.
you're fine. You moved out of the grease and out of the fog to see Lachlan over there hiding behind a big boulder.
Well,
And
hiding.
an army of people
And,
starting to approach with
yeah.
weapons drawn.
And, yeah, an army of people approaching with weapons drawn, and they see a brown bear emerge from this
I'm just
fog
gonna
cloud.
sit in my bear form and like not look aggressive, but I'm like on alert, watching,
Okay,
perceiving, perception.
gotcha.
My only friend just left me in a fog with two crazy people. I thought we were like sisters.
Okay.
Team Tall fractured.
Team tall.
So we go now to Lachlan, who is kind of hiding behind a boulder.
Hiding.
Hiding.
Kallista, what happened in there? Is Gramps okay?
You know,
Callista's just staring at you.
Went that well, huh?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna try to slip behind the rock.
Okay, so Lachlan slips farther behind the rock. Go ahead and make another stealth check for us, Lachlan.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do another. I will do a perception check.
Okay, you gotta make a perception check.
Oh,
Oh,
Thir-
well.
13.
oh, it's 13. Yeah, because you have advantage because you're the bear.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, Lachlan. You're still not out of Callista's view. She's kind of kept looking at you out the corner of her eye. She keeps a straight face, watching this approaching army of elves and humans and Zhentarim on horseback. Anything else you'd like to do, Lachlan?
End turn.
And turn. And turn. Awesome. Cool. Diana, that brings us up to you. You are laying in the grease with fog all around you. You've heard these sounds, you've heard these voices. Now it's only one voice. The voice of an angry Xolkin.
Okay. The first thing I would like to do is cast Cure Wounds on Kella.
Plot twist!
What? I'll reach out and find her. Can I find her in the fog? Do I have to make a perception check to find her?
Yes, make a perception check because you can't really see and you may accidentally grab Xolkin.
Oh crap! I don't want to heal him.
Well, at least he can't do anything to him. He hasn't taken any damage, I don't think.
Okay, perception.
Yes,
perception.
Kella got a couple stabs in on him.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you're reaching. You do reach and you find something to grab a hold of. You're not 100% sure who it is, would you still like to cast Cure Wounds?
Can I switch to? Wait, is Prayer of Healing? Is Prayer of Healing touch activated?
I don't think it is, but I think does Prayer of Healing take? Is that a longer casting time?
It might be. Don't know.
Wasn't
Prayer
that prayer?
of-
Wasn't that Prayer of Healing the one that took like 10 minutes or something, and it was like a non-combat healing spell or something like that?
What?
Oh, like on a rest?
Yeah, like I think there was one of them that was like it healed the whole party, but
Right.
like you had to take an extended amount of time on it.
Okay, maybe I'll do Healing Word instead. Is Healing Word touch activated?
I don't believe so. I think Healing Word is the.
No, and it's one bonus action. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you are right, Michael. Prayer Healing is a 10-minute cast time.
10 minute, because I remember we were playing that wrong the last campaign that I ran.
Okay, I would like to just cast Healing Word instead, because I don't
Okay.
gotta touch her to do
Okay.
it.
Okay. So
Okay.
7.
She gets 7
points.
health.
So all of a sudden, Diana, as you're praying to Elmater, you hear a gasp of air nearby, and then you hear Xolkin. What? What?
Okay,
You were dead.
okay, and then I'm gonna use my turn to just say, Zolkin, you have some explaining to do. Is what she says true? Are you the monster that she says she is, and that she says you are? And don't just give me people get in the way, okay? What is the truth? Boy, what's up? Okay, I'm done.
Nice. You just you can't see his face just because of it's more of like a silhouette in the fog. But as you're saying this, you can see his body start. He's still straddling over top of Kella, but he starts to slowly turn towards you. And at that point, it is Mulfin's turn.
Wait,
Unless you want to do an action really quick, because you still have an action or a movement.
I still have an action. I would like a movement. Okay, well actually the Healing Word was a bonus action.
Yeah,
unless
so,
talking
so
is-
you have an action. The talking's like a free action.
Okay. I will take half my movement to stand. Well, actually, yeah, I'll take half my movement to stand, and I'll just stand up. That's all.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
Dolphin, save me.
But if she ends her turn in the grease, doesn't she have to make another?
She has to make a dex save.
So you stood up. If you stay there, you have to make a save.
Jeez.
You don't have to stay there.
I don't, but I want to hear what Xolkin has to say to me. I wouldn't reasonably.
You can just step one back.
That's true. Okay.
Take a step behind him.
Yeah, I'll take like a few steps back.
Okay.
A little like, you're scaring me. Okay, here we go.
Okay. As
I'll
you
wait.
try to do that, Diana,
If he takes an
He's-
attack of opportunity.
he's not going to take an attack of opportunity, but he's going to try to reach out and grab your arm.
Boy, I think not.
So you can make either a strength to try to brush off his grab, or a dex to try to like dodge out of the way of him grabbing. But
I'll use.
they're gonna both be regular rolls because of the fog cloud. Is that correct, Melfin?
It's only for attack rolls.
It's only for attack. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, attack rolls have disadvantage, so if she's trying to save on it.
Okay, so he's
Or do
making
whatever a normal save
he's
is.
making a strength check to try to grab her. This will be contested by either her dex.
I'm making a strength check, and I won, and I'm making a dex check so I don't slip and fall into the grease. And I failed. So as I'm running, I fall.
Wait, you didn't. You ended your turn outside of the grease, so you're fine.
No, I'm still in the grease. I took a few steps away from him, but I didn't leave the grease. I wanted to stay
Well, no,
in there
yeah,
so I
yeah.
could still
You're-
hear
you're
what
The
in
he
grease
said.
is only one square. You're
Yeah.
still in the fog,
You're in
but
the fog, but you're not in the
Fog.
grease.
Oh, but I did
Yep.
leave the grease.
Yep. So you got out of the grease, and he tried to reach out and grab you, but you were able to just kind of push his hand out of the way as you moved out of the grease and onto the grass into that fog. Now you cannot see him at
Angry
all now
girlfriend.
because you're just not even close enough. The moonlight has just made this fog really white, and you're just completely submerged and surrounded by it.
Okay.
So-
Stumpy is really pushing to have her trapped. Chat's just not responding to it, apparently.
Oh, nat 20 on his grab. Oh.
Why does the chat hate me?
Hate you. They not won my intimidation. Y'all won't be having this fight.
So, do we have any takers in chat to, Stumpy wants the nat 20 to be used for Xolkin's grab on Diana. Anybody else in for that, or are we
I will
letting
say,
Diana
it
brush
for like
off?
the narration, it'd be good storytelling.
Aww.
Oh, the chat
Deny it.
conclave denies your vote for that. Oh, wait, Ninja says no. Ninja says he doesn't want to use the nat 20 yet. That's all right, Stumpy. I'm sure you'll have plenty of other opportunities. The way tonight's going, my goodness.
The chat feels they owe it to Molfen.
Chat's too nice. That's all right. We love our chat. All right.
I love my because y'all haven't kill me yet.
Molfen, that brings us up to you.
And
You are just
from where I am, what I have
surrounded in
noticed,
cloud.
Diana. Yeah, but I have noticed like Diana or anything moving away or heard any of this conversation between her and Xolkin.
You can see that there's somebody moving about 10 feet away from you. You cannot discern 100% who. You just kind of see it almost like a silhouette moving quickly from kind of where all these things transpired. All you know is they're bigger than you.
Yeah. Well, as Molfen is still not 100% sure what's going on and still trying to stop the madness and has no idea that the bear is gone, he's actually going to take a couple of steps forward to up beside the giant form near him to see who it is and sort of, reading.
Who's out there?
Okay. So,
What's going on?
Diana, Molfen kind of bumps into you with his arm as he says he's moving around. And
Okay, I'm gonna reach out.
Molfen, you can start to feel someone with your right hand as you're kind of approaching, reaching out into the fog.
What's going on? Have we stopped the fighting yet?
I reach out for his face and I find his beard and I'm like, oh, Molfen. Okay, good. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Xolkin is apparently evil, but like I thought that he was great, and I don't understand anything right now. I'm just really, really confused and like, am I evil again? Is the question. Like,
Molfen does sort of one of these, pat, and then turns. I'm going to drop
like, this is
concentration on the fog cloud.
Oh.
So the fog will start dissipating.
Starts to dissipate.
And then the minute turn towards Xolkin and say, okay,
well, you have upset one of my friends.
And cast hideous laughter on him.
Aw, so protective. Oh, it's so cute.
Nice. Okay. There's no check on this?
It's a wisdom save.
Oh, there it is. Wisdom save. I missed that line there. So Xolkin must do a wisdom saving throw. Let's see how this goes.
Fallen laugh.
So, as Molfen points out with his finger towards Xolkin, his skin, you can see now, Molfen, he looks different. His veins and just kind of like sticking out of his neck. He looks bigger. He looks more gruesome. It's almost like his eyes are completely bloodshot as well. His skin, even in the moonlight, his skin has almost like a metallic look to it, a silverish hue. And all of a sudden, he looks down at Kella, looks up at you, and starts going. And rolls over Kella and just starts rolling, holding his stomach and kicking up into the air, just laughing hysterically in the grease. Like, it's just like just rolling back and forth.
With that, Molfin sort of turns back a little towards Diana, nods, and then all of a sudden realizes that there seems to be a lot of people taking notice of what's going on, and is takes a couple of steps back, sort of goes to walk away, and actually thinks better of it and stays where he is, as he's still sort of between Diana and Xolkin at the moment.
Yay.
Okay.
And that'll end.
Excellent. That brings us up to Kella. Kella, seeing that Xolkin has kind of rolled off and started to laugh hysterically. It seems like he only gets to make a save if he takes damage.
At the end of his turn,
His turn.
or if he takes damage.
So basically what Kella does is she sees what's happening, jumps on top of Xolkin, and starts to try to just grapple him and kind of squeeze him, not trying to injure him, and looks up towards you, Molfin, and Diana, and says, "Quickly, we got him now." And that will end her turn. I'm gonna go ahead and he's incapacitated, so he would automatically fail.
Yeah, it says he is falls prone and is incapacitated and unable to stand for duration.
Yeah, so basically she just got him grappled, basically on top of the ground, and while she's like laying on top of him, he even finds it more hilarious. He's just busting out laughing. That brings us to Rond and the elves, and they all start to approach. Now they're kind of approaching quietly. They've got their weapons in hand, but they're all kind of approaching as a group, and some of them are getting closer to you, Kallista. Not too close though, because they're not sure where the bear came from. But the bear is just sitting there awkwardly, and they're slowly kind of approaching. They've got their arrows kind of on their bows, and they're just like slowly approaching because they can hear all of a sudden this laughter just taking place in front of them and all this commotion that's going on, and they're just slowly kind of headed up. And I believe the first time you guys met Rond, you were in your bear form as well. So you can see that they're all kind of approaching. They're not being too quick about it. They're approaching cautiously. That brings us up to Xolkin. Now, Xolkin can make a save at the end of his turn. The end of his turn. So basically, this whole turn, he's just being grappled by Kella, just laughing hysterically on the ground. He's going to go ahead and make a wisdom save, see if he can bust out of this effect of this hideous laughter. And he continues to laugh hysterically, finding every moment just absolutely, it's the best comedy he's had in a long time. So that brings us up to the Zhentarim, and they approach, seeing Kella on top of Xolkin. Xolkin laying in a puddle of grease, kicking, laughing, being absolutely hysterical. And they approach on horseback. A couple of them approach. 30, 40. He gets to about right there next to the guard. He gets to the riding horse. He gets to about right there. He's coming down too.
JJ's in the chat.
And as the two are approaching, they are super confused. Because even though Kallista was sitting there in bear form, this one Zhentarim went right by on horseback over towards where Xolkin and Kella were. Since Kallista was the bear was just sitting there, And this particular Zhentarim also saw Kallista before in bear form. Probably have an idea of what was going on with Kallista, even though he probably doesn't like it. And they just start to look confused. They've got light crossbows drawn with bolts ready to go, loaded. And they just kind of look around. What's going on here? And that brings us up to the guards, who are also just approaching slowly and cautiously down from the top.
What? Good. We're good place.
Kallista, what would you be doing while these guards and elves are kind of slowly approaching?
If I see Diana crying, I'm gonna go up to Kella and Xolkin, and I'm going to do an intimidation and just like roar at them.
Thank you.
At both of Kella and Xolkin?
Oh yeah, both of them.
Okay.
Oh, it's not advantage, sorry, but
Girl, get it.
Alright, let's see. Intimidation, insight is wisdom, I believe. Or is that intelligence?
Wisdom for insight.
Let's see, wisdom, that's what I thought.
I don't even know if he'd notice. He's just cracking up laughing.
He's cracking up laughing. He probably
True.
wouldn't notice, but he doesn't seem to be affected by that at all.
that's fine.
And actually, he finds the roar even more hilarious. he just busts out laughing. Oh, there's a bear.
Ooh.
Even Kella doesn't seem to be affected by it. Kella seems to be... her attention is just completely focused on Xolkin right now. Even that big nasty bear roar has not really affected her. Anything else you'd like to do for your turn here, Kallista?
I think that's it. That was my action, yeah?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, Lachlan, anything you're doing as this
Nope.
is unfolding? Nope. he's just chilling.
Just noping the whole way through.
Watching to see what happens. Kind of now that I can see everything, I'm like, oh wow, they've been busy in
Diana.
there.
Oh my gosh, what's she doing? Crying quietly.
A little gnome patting her on the back.
Yeah. I'll just step forward, an inch and just be like, stop it! Stop fighting! All of you, just stop it! I don't know. Is that a persuasion?
Yeah, good.
Did you even hear that? I
Well,
was whispering it?
Persuasion check, yeah.
Okay. Please stop.
So, let's go to...
Stop trying to kill each other, damn it.
We'll roll Kella's first. Persuasion.
It's in character.
That seems about right.
Wow.
She's just even more motivated to kill him now.
Pretty much.
She is kind of ignoring everything and everyone, and it doesn't seem like she wants to... It's not seeming like she wants to kill him now. It's almost like she's trying to subdue him, almost now. Here comes Xolkin's save, and he is also still... every word you say, he laughs louder. He's just...
You are a terrible boyfriend.
And what we'll do at this point is we are going to go ahead and take our break at this point.
Okay.
So that I believe we may be getting our Moby back after the break. So we will have to see if we can get him in here, and if everything's okay, we'll get him in here playing the rest of the night. But we will kick it off when we get back at the
Hot.
top of the round with Mulfin. As the scene continues to unfold with a bunch of people laughing and rolling around in grease, which is how every D&D encounter should go.
Yeah.
You have
Molfen
not-
has officially invented mud wrestling. You're welcome to everyone.
It has happened, yes. I want to thank all of our viewers tonight for jumping in, and we picked up a follower tonight, so we're up to 84. We are 1 away from viewer decision. I want to thank you guys for chiming in on getting Ron Arrowhome and the scouts involved in this little encounter. We'll see how that plays out when we get back from the break. But also want to make sure that you guys kind of continue to stay with us. If you haven't hit the follow button yet, hit that follow button. If you'd like to subscribe and support this channel, please do that as well. So we will be back in about 5 minutes. You guys stay put, and we will be back with episode 12 here of Storm King's Thunder. Glad that you guys are joining us, and we're going to take a short break. We'll see you guys soon. welcome back everybody to episode 12 of Storm King's Thunder right here at Proficiency Bonus. We're so glad that you're joining us tonight. We've had some awesome things happening in our Twitch chat tonight. Twitch chat, I also want to remind you, you did use your Nat 1 already tonight that you had on an intimidation check by Molfin. You still have a Nat 20 in your pocket that can be used tonight, as last time we were live, we awarded our chat, since they're so awesome, the Nat 20 and Nat 1 to be used during tonight's session. So, the episode, as we left off, Molfin had casted Hideous Laughter on Xolkin. Xolkin is laughing hysterically, rolling around in this puddle of grease on the ground, and Kella has kind of jumped on top of him, kind of grappling him, trying to subdue him. He finds this whole situation absolutely hilarious under the effects of the spell. And it seems like the Zhentarim on horseback are approaching very curiously and not really sure what is happening. Also, the rest of the elves and guards are slowly approaching cautiously, have weapons drawn, but are not really sure what is going on with this whole situation. So, at that point, Molfin, we are still kind of technically in initiative order right now. Is there anything that you would like to do here? Are you muted,
Are you muted?
Matthew?
Again?
Again. Looking at this bandit who's just to the south of... He has any sort of... draped over the horse.
What was that again? You cut out a little bit on
Wait.
Or does he have any rope or anything draped over the horse or anything that he'll be able to use?
It looks like there's like a 50-foot rope attached to the side. Like there's some satchels and pouches attached to the side of the horse, and there is like a rolled up rope on the side.
And Molfin is going to sort of walk around the grease over by this guy. As he's walking past, just sort of reach up and say,
It seems Xolkin's gone a little mad. I'm going to borrow this.
and grab the rope and try to tie Xolkin up.
Okay, as you reach up to try to grab the rope, he's going to try to stop you.
Oh.
So we're going to make a contested check. So you can make a strength check against his strength to see if you can yank the rope down.
Yes, because this is going to go so well for the ancient old gnome.
Oh.
Not that bad.
Not that bad. Let's see. Okay. Let's see how this person does. Let me double check, make sure I've got... Okay, Never Whisper Rules is off. Strength check here.
Yeah.
Molfin, you try to pull the rope, but you feel the hand reach down and grab the other side, and he will not allow you to pull the rope off of the horse.
Molfin spends the rest of his turn then literally Yoda versus R2-D2 with the with his quarterstaff out, just sort of hand on the rope, pulling, just going, just flailing wildly, smacking the back end of this horse, trying to get the rope off.
The Zhentarim's just looking down at you like just with this odd look. And what are you doing, you crazy old man?
No words, just still that same smacking on the back of the horse, like gimme.
Nice.
That'll end his turn. Is just keep doing it.
All right. Kella continues to keep hold of Xolkin as Xolkin continues to just laugh hysterically. As these scouts approach, they all see Lachlan sitting there. They've all got their bows drawn, but they are so confused. They don't really know what is happening or what is going on. Lachlan, Rond approaches you and starts to speak to you. He says that, what's even going on here? It's so late.
Yeah, I think they're all drunk and brawling.
Drunken brawl? I didn't even
That's
see
the
anyone
only-
drinking tonight.
Yeah, they're probably slipping it under the table. These kinds of people.
Your friend, why is she in her bear form?
Just I think emotions, the night, and
Nice, Lachlan.
I think they all just need a good night's sleep.
And Rond is just kind of carrying on a little bit of conversation there with Lachlan. Xolkin is going to make his wisdom save as his next turn approaches, and he rolls. Is a 16 good enough?
Unfortunately, that's enough.
Oh. All of a sudden, Xolkin laughter just slowly dissipates. He just goes from to a as he starts to kind of gain just the gravity of the situation. He's looking around. He's being grappled by Kella down there in the middle of the grease, and he starts to kind of look around, and he sees Diana over there. He sees Kallista in her bear form. He starts to see some of the Zhentarim approaching on the horseback. He also sees that there are several of these elven scouts approach with longbows drawn. That's the end of his turn, so it brings us up to the Zeds. The one is just looking down at Mulfin. Get away from my horse! Stop touching the rope! Stop touching the rope! There is nothing wrong with Xolkin. Someone get this old man off my rope. The other bandit starts to approach, kind of like where Kallista is. Kind of pulls back on the reins of the horse as he sees the grease on the ground, and he looks down towards Xolkin. He's like, what's going on? What's so funny? And the rest of the bandits are also, Zhentarim. They're just bandits by character sheet. Approaches. This one kind of has to kind of go around these elves as he's headed down. He does the same. This is actually the female Zhentarim coming down here from the top. And they're just kind of holding on to actions as they're trying to gain, kind of get a grasp of what's going on. The guards are just kind of moving. They kind of just stay back behind the elves, seeing that the elves are in better shape than they are. Some of these guards are still injured from their deal with the goblins that they had going on. So they're just kind of cautiously approaching. They've got their spears with them, but they're just waiting to see exactly what happens. Kallista.
I want to try to grapple Kella.
Okay. Okay. All right.
What do I roll for that?
I think you roll a strength check.
Strength?
Yes. It'll be contested strength against her strength. I'm not sure how that works when a creature is grappling another creature and you try to grapple that creature. I don't know what the ruling is on that, but we're going to make it up as we go.
I like Diana's idea. A grapple train.
A grapple train?
That's a 15. That's a nice roll. Poor unconscious Moby has no idea what he's missing.
Moby is unconscious, yes. Moby was very tired. Okay, so Kella
Hey,
is
I'm out
going-
of it in-game and out of it out-of-game. What?
Let's see how Kella does.
Ooh.
Ooh, she notices as the bear tries to grab a hold of her, and she kind of rolls over a little bit on the other side as she continues to keep her grapple locked onto Xolkin. and she's just like, she kind of looks towards Diana. It's like, would you please get her off of me?
I roar again.
We've got him.
You can control that. So.
And sorry, I was responding to something in chat.
Okay.
What was that again? What were you saying there, Diana?
Oh, I was looking at Kella like, you think I can control that?
Anything else for your turn? Bonus action or anything, Kallista?
I just want to roar again. I
Just
don't know
roar
if that's
again?
another.
Okay, yeah, you can make
Yeah.
you can make an intimidation check if you'd like.
Okay. Not great, but nope.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to have any effect on Kella. Xolkin is there too, so we'll see how he feels about this. Oh, he doesn't care at all.
Yeah.
He
He's,
double crits.
Yeah,
Damn.
He's starting to go back into his rage that he was originally in before he started laughing hysterically and rolling all over the ground. Lachlan, you are engaged in this conversation with Ron, but then you hear the laughing stop, and you hear another bear roar as people are still seem to be roaring and wrestling in this grease as the mud wrestling continues.
Hey Ron, who do you think's gonna win, the bear or Kella? Minimum bet 10 gold.
No.
I can't believe you're going to put money on this. Seriously.
Well, it's a spectacle. I think we could revitalize the economy of this.
We're here in a situation where we're not even sure what is going on, and all you can think about is money.
Yeah.
Do it.
Anything else you'd like
But I
to
mean,
do,
really
Lachlan?
though, 10 gold, minimum buy-in. What do you say?
Who you got your gold on?
Oh, I'm sorry?
Who do you have your gold on?
You know, I think I have it on the bear.
Well, that's who I was gonna go with.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess we are at an impasse. Cheers to the bear!
There's a lot of people on Team Bear right now, apparently.
That's my turn.
That's your turn. Diana. It seems
Okay, I'm
that Xolkin has stopped laughing and things are getting intense again.
I'm just screaming around at anyone. Someone do something. Someone separate them. Someone do something. Someone make sense of all of this. This is madness. End this. And that's my turn.
Alright.
Do persuasion?
You can do
Persuasion?
Yeah.
Persuasion.
Yeah, you can do persuasion. Sure.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm so terrified of the dice. Did it load? Was it?
Yeah, that's pretty low.
Yeah, persuasion
Bad.
at 9.
Yep. Okay, just get it out right now, so when I need a real persuasion check, it doesn't
Let's
do
see how
that.
Xolkin does. Yeah, Xolkin doesn't really seem to care about what you're saying right now, Diana.
Xolkin don't care about me anymore.
Yeah,
No, that ship has sailed.
And
That's not
Kella's gonna go ahead and roll hers. See if she's affected by your.
Ooh.
Oh, she seems
Kella
to
and I
be.
keep on matching.
Neck and neck.
Kella just kind of looks towards you, and Diana is just kind of like, he must be stopped. It must end today. And that's all she really responds to you.
Okay, cool. Great.
Molfin.
Molf will stop flailing for a second and look up at the guy.
Are you going to give me this now?
No! This is my rope, and you're not using it to tie up Xolkin. And then he holds up his light crossbow as he's saying that, and has like one finger kind of like ready to pull the trigger. Get off of the rope.
Molfin ignores him, turns to Kella and says,
Kella, if you wish this to be dealt with, get off him and run. And I'm holding a spell.
Mm.
I'm holding it for. I'm holding it if Kella listens to me and moves.
Okay. You know what? Let's bring our chat into this.
Uh-oh.
Chat.
What are you gonna do?
What should Kella do? I'm gonna give you 2 viewer decisions tonight, even though we're 1 follower short. I'm gonna throw another viewer decision at our chat. Is Kella going to move and allow Molfin to unleash what he's holding? Viewer decision time. I need... Kella should stay because it's in character. Okay. Anybody else?
Oh, but is staying in character or is resolving it in character?
Or survival in character.
have Kella change into true dragon form.
Well, that would be a plot twist.
I love that's good, Stitch Up lads. I love that.
Yeah.
That is good.
Cheers to survival.
Survival, please.
Ooh, so we got 2 in. Kella should stay. Kella should change into her true dragon form. Anybody else want to chime in from our chat? If you have a viewer decision on what... Okay, she turns into the Storm King, and there's your plot line.
Don't be!
Level 4, let's do this!
Yeah!
Kepler says she should move, but towards Molfin.
Oh, well.
Josh says time to stay and face the blade.
Ooh.
What? That was 2 for staying, I think. For staying
we
where she
got-
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got
We
2
got
for
2
staying,
for staying.
1 for dragon, and 1 for charge Molfin.
And
Kella
one...
will stand up and backflip over Molfin's head.
Now we've got.
I like
now
it.
we've got-
I like that one!
I like that one too.
Now we have 2
Got
versus
acrobatics it.
Acrobatics, yes. Oh yeah, we gotta have 1 person chime in. So we got 2 for stay, 2 for move, 2 to transform into different things.
I'm getting some really good tips here.
Kella is really a beholder. She-
Oh no!
Peace. Molfin's out. He's running,
Nope.
grabbing Molfin and running away.
Never
Nope,
mind
nope,
this.
nope.
This got way too big for me.
Yep.
Screwed time.
Okay,
Leave the bear for that.
Here's what we'll do. Diana, do me a favor. I would need you to roll me a D2. On a 1,
Do a what?
D2. On a 1,
D2.
we're going to have Kella stay where she is. On a 2, we're going to have her stand up and do a backflip over Molfin's head.
In character. In character. It's okay.
She looks towards you, Molfin, and she is still grappling Xolkin. It says, looks kind of towards you, almost like a hint of, there's like this, I don't know, this is this inner battle going on within her, just in her mind and heart. And you can see that she kind of looks towards you and says, it doesn't have to end that way. We've got him. And that's really all she does for her turn, is she just keeps him kind of pinned down.
Molfin just Shakes and keeps one hand firmly grasped on that guy's rope.
Okay. Guy's still just glaring at you while you're doing this. Rond is standing next to Lachlan, and Rond holds out his hand and slaps into your hand 10 gold pieces.
Wait. Are you on the bear or Kella?
I told you the bear, but we've got to find a couple others to dish in on this.
Alright, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he puts his bow back over his shoulder. He standing there and he pulls out some like rations. It's almost like little like dried chips of meat and stuff, and he starts munching on it while he's watching. And he's like,
The show of the century.
So what about that weird guy? The guy that laughs and then gets all weird.
I don't know about that guy. I think I gotta give him third billing here.
I mean, he clearly looks like he is no match for the bear.
I think he's on something.
It kind of looks like
Veins are a little.
Well, I've met him before, and he didn't look that vicious, but still, I mean, I could take him.
Oh.
I bet you could. Pat him in the back.
So Ron kind of glances over at the other elves. The elves kind of take a step forward, and they are all, as he gives them this look, they are all kind of holding their bows a little bit more at the ready as they're approaching. At this point, JJ, do me a favor and click on Moby's token, and I want you to roll initiative for me, okay?
Oh no. Here we go.
And add you to the tracker. Okay.
He's coming up soon.
Ooh.
That
Oh,
takes
the new
us-
Moby picture.
Xolkin, seeing everything that's going on around him, seems to stop trying to break out of Kella's grapple. And still looks intense. Is looking towards everybody. Looks towards the other Zents that are standing around him. The one is just arguing immensely with Mulfin, as Mulfin is still trying to take the rope off his horse. The other one that asked Xolkin what is going on starts to see Xolkin calm down a little bit. And you can hear, and Diana and Kallista, Kella, Mulfin, you guys hear Xolkin say, I think it's time we left. And then he looks towards Kella. And he looks towards you, Diana. He just looks towards you and says,
Hey.
Sometimes people get in the way. There's some things that you must do. He looks back up at Kella and he's like, if you know what's good for you, you will let us go. And that ends his turn. And it seems like the other Zents are approaching on their horses. As they all kind of start to... You hear Diana, the horses kind of galloping down through the town. The one that Mulfin is attached to the rope is just like, if you do not stop touching this rope, I am going to stick this crossbow bolt into your face. Right into your face. Leave it alone. Stop. Stop it. And that's all he does. Moby, you awaken to a voice in your head, and in the distance you can hear a call of a raven appears to be perched on a nearby roof. Moby, asleep so soon? There are things to do. Your friends appear to be in trouble. The visions are clouded, but
Maybe just kind of groans. Oh, I was sleeping. What? What is it? What?
your friends, they could use you right now. And you're laying in this nice, comfortable patch of grass. Come on, Moby. I thought you were more proactive than that.
Maybe begrudgingly kind of like gets up and shakes like the dew off him from the wet grass. Now, it's night time, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's probably like it's like 1:30 in the
Cool.
morning.
Can I
It's
see that
really
far?
late.
All right.
It's
Am I able to even see where they are?
You can't see, but you can hear a lot of commotion. Like there's a lot the sound of a lot of
Kallista roared twice.
Yeah, you heard the bear roar from the southern part of the town. So yeah, you got an idea where they're at.
All right. Well, in that case, I guess I'm gonna do that like really sheepish like morning run. Like I don't want to, but I guess I got to. Like getting up for a jog on like a early winter morning.
Okay, excellent. The guards appear to be holding still, just kind of seeing what the elves are doing. One of the guards actually watched Ron put the money into Lachlan's hand. Approaches Lachlan. And holds out his hand. Puts 10 gold pieces in Lachlan's hand.
Who are you for?
I don't know who that guy is on the bottom, but I got mine on him.
On the guy. Okay. Take it.
And that takes us to Lachlan's turn.
Did Kallista and I get mixed up?
No, we're same initiative.
Oh, okay. Alright, step right up, ladies and gentlemen. We're taking bets on the fight of the century.
Here's Lachlan.
Only one will come out of this alive.
When Lachlan is holding up his hands confidently as he has some gold in it.
I want to jingle my coin purse, get people excited and enticed.
The guards are all kind of looking at you intriguingly. The elves seem to be giving you a very weird look. Ron is kind of grinning.
In this intermediary time and in the law of Nightstone here, gambling is legal.
All right, Kallista, is there anything in particular you would like to do? I'm about
Yep.
ready to take this out of initiative order unless...
Nope.
Oh,
I just double multi-attack Kallista because she didn't listen.
you mean Kella?
Yep, Kella.
Oh, Kallista just
How much
drives
damage
down. Go ahead, your bite and your claw both hit.
Okay.
As the bear starts to maul Kella again. Teeth sink in for 11 points of damage, and claw for 12 points of damage. And all of a sudden, as this bear goes completely nuts on Kella grappling, you see that she completely goes limp, and her grapple is released from Xolkin, and Kella rolls off the side of Xolkin and is laying there motionless, bleeding into the grease.
And as my bonus action, I'm gonna drop form and look down at her Should have listened.
Gangster.
It's my turn.
Hashtag gangster. Whoa, relentless team bear. There it is. As
Yeah.
Kallista rages, sinking teeth into Kella and then slashing her back, and you just hear her scream in pain as she rolls off. Diana, you just witnessed the bear go completely bare again on Kella. Xolkin now realizing he's free from her grapple.
Number one, I would like to acknowledge that if this thing with Xolkin doesn't work out, it's hashtag rebound Ron.
Oh my god, it's canon!
That's my next target.
I ship it.
I ship it.
I'm writing that down. Rebound wrong. That is so good. Man, so many good things tonight. Rebound.
I imagine
Ron.
Rond is like super handsome.
Girl, I imagine it too.
He's pretty rugged looking, being a
Ooh.
wood elf, but he's still, he's not terrible, you know.
A country boy.
Xolkin,
Okay,
Xolkin comes off as more attractive at first, but there's just he's got this hint of something.
He's got this
That's-
personality that's like garbage.
Yeah,
When
that's about it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Diana, not on the same level that I am at right now of rebound. She's a Diana just hears sometimes people get in the way, and she takes a step forward and wipes the tears from her eyes, and she's like, people sometimes get in the way. People sometimes self-sabotage when they lie. And that's her. It's just really upset at him.
Okay.
He lied to her. Here we go. It wasn't as it's not nearly as
Go
clever.
ahead and make an insight check for me, Diana.
An insight check?
Yeah,
Okay,
make
cool.
An insight check. That's pretty good.
For one.
You have got the sense, like, because you've incited him before, and he seemed to be
I've what?
legitimate. You incited him before, like, when all this was going on, and you seem to have felt like he was being honest with you about, his feelings and things like that, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he wasn't kind of hiding his past from you.
Exactly.
So he was...
Diana.
Yeah, so... And now that some of this stuff is coming out, now you're starting to sense that even though he may be, having those feelings for you, it's some of his darker side is coming out.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but you kind of lost me at throws children into moats. I was like,
So I had a nickel for every time I heard that.
That's,
That's a character flaw that
That's-
you can't really compromise on in a relationship.
nice. Yes. I love it.
Sass level 100. Does he take psychic damage for that?
Psychic damage. Oh, yeah. You just got dissed, punk. that's immediate. That's auto kill right there.
Auto kill. Right to the.
That's just mockery.
Do not death save, do not pass go, do not be reincarnated.
We're gonna Molfin. Anything in particular you're doing other than still trying to take the rope from this guy?
Hanging on to the rope and holding a spell to if Xolkin does anything aggressive.
Okay, go ahead and make another strength check to see if you can pull the rope from this guy.
Hey, it got better.
Got better. Let's see if it's good enough.
Hey!
You did it. So finally, Molfin's able to
I
reach and
grabbed.
jerk the rope away from him. So, hey, what? Give it
It
back.
only took 4 turns.
So Molfin,
As
you now
Molfin
have
now
the
paying
rope.
more attention, looks and notices Kella's unconscious. There goes my help tying up Xolkin. So it's just holding on to the rope and readies that spell if Xolkin goes to do anything aggressive.
Okay, Kella Darkhope is unconscious. Rond looks towards the elves. Looks towards Lachlan. And asks Lachlan, do you want us to put down the bear?
I'm not a bear anymore.
Oh yeah, that's right, you transformed. What is going on? Does she need to be put down? Did we lose Lachlan?
Hey,
Not lighting up.
I don't have him on the video.
Yeah, his camera's gone too.
I think he's having issues. Oh, he's typing.
He's typing.
Okay. He's getting everything
Oh,
situated.
lost connection. Yeah.
We're gonna hold Rond and their turn and skip down to Xolkin. Xolkin uses half of his movement to stand up and starts to run past Mulfin and jumps onto the back of this horse with this other Zhentarim. Mulfin, you do have a reaction as he's running by. He's not doing anything aggressive to you, so the spell wouldn't really go off.
No, if he's running, he's running.
Okay.
Mulfin's only holding his action at this point. Mulfin's not going to be the one to instigate anything.
Gotcha. So he's going to
Shade.
go ahead and he is going to jump up onto the back of the horse. He's having trouble getting up there. So he's kind of struggling to get up there as he is just kind of tuning everything else out. Just now that he's free, he's just sprinting towards this horse, and while he's doing it, he's yelling towards the others. Get out! It's time to go.
Oh, can Diana have a reaction?
Can Mulfin offer a reaction? Would you like a hand up there? You seem to be having trouble.
Nice. Yes. The other the one that is trying to get on the horse after you took the rope, he's like, God, you just keep it. And he grabs Xolkin and pulls him up onto the horse. And both of them, they all start to, well, not with Mulfin. I'm accidentally grabbing Mulfin. They start to head this way.
If he had let go of the rope, I'd be going for a ride.
Okay, so they're gonna he's gonna have the horse sprint. As they're headed that way. And the rest of the bandits, or Zhentarim, follow suit as they start to take.
Are they out of range?
It depends on what you're trying to do.
It's 60 feet.
Might be out of range of 60 feet.
Oh. I wanted to hit him with a sacred flame before he left.
You might be able to approach him and get within 60 feet of
Yes.
someone. That takes us to Moby. Moby, you're starting to hear the gallops of horses.
Interesting. Can I discern anything on the horses? Or is it just horses running around?
Well, how far away Oh yeah, you can start to see them. They're on the other side of this wooden fence, this simple kind of little farming area. To your right, and you can see that there are these individuals who you recognize as the Zhentarim, just galloping very, very quickly up towards the front of Nightstone.
I don't see any of my group there, so I'm gonna kind of disregard that and keep dashing down behind this little wall of whatever they are, guards, whatever.
Yeah, it just looks like the guards that you had saved from the cave. Some of them are still nursing minor injuries and things.
Quick question: did you guys
Those
just
I'm
lose
running
me
up.
out of the game?
No?
Nope, I see you.
No, see there.
Oh, good.
Weird. All my windows are gone. Sorry, not to interrupt. Go ahead.
That's all good.
The camera is on you, so be careful.
Yeah, don't do anything funny.
That's good. All right, the guards are kind of
As
just...
I'm running up, I'm like, what's going on? What's happening?
One of the guards kind of looks over his shoulder and says, God, we're not sure. It just seems like there's some kind of grease fight, mud wrestle. People are betting. I'm not even
I just
sure what's
sigh.
happening. And one of the female guards looks over to her. She says, it just seems like a bunch of drama.
Accurate.
I
Accurate.
woke up for this. Oh.
So then we woke up for this.
I'm gonna kill that raven.
He's grumpy when he wakes up.
Lachlan, is there anything that you're doing at this time?
I just want to tell the elves, no need to intervene. This is a fair fight, sanctioned. Let's see how this plays out.
Ron kind of nods his head at you.
Taking more bets.
Fair enough. And he holds up his hand, and the elves seem to kind of stand at ease. And brings us to Kallista.
Is Kella dead?
Kella is very, very mauled and bloody and just lying there not breathing. The blood is starting to mix with Muffin's magical grease.
Gross.
It's pretty nasty.
Will you... yeah. I'll go up to Diana, and I give her a hug. And I tell her, just say the word and I'll take him down too. Just say the word.
Oh my gosh, out of character. God, I want to. In character, Diana's pure angel heart would forgive him somehow.
Pure angel heart.
I'm writing that down. Diana's pure angel heart.
No. He just... I don't know.
I just give her a hug.
And she breaks down crying, reasonably.
We need some new music.
Put some sad
The mellow.
tunes on.
Yeah, we need
There
some-
you go.
Put Ivy's on.
Here we go. Here we go. I like this. Let's go with that.
Oh.
Oh, that's so
Oh, that's so sad!
What happens when bears murder innocent people?
She wasn't. Go ahead, she's not innocent. Close to no care.
Your boyfriend turned out to be a murderer? Here.
Okay.
We need a monk.
The tiniest violin.
Diana, are you doing anything on your turn, or are you going to continue to cry in Callista's arms?
Diana will.
Mr.
Take a
Carrot
step
Rope's like, what's going on? Is she going to marry the bear instead?
Yes! Yes!
I
Okay,
ship it.
that'd be iconic. Oh my gosh. No. We already established. Hashtag rebound Ron.
Can't
Apparently
let that
it's
go.
hashtag rebound druid.
Rebound Ron has a nice ring to it, though.
Yeah. No, Diana will just watch him go and cry a little bit. Now, call me controversial, but Diana's kind of like, Kella has answers to who her ex now really was. So she's gonna wander over, avoiding the grief. And if I can't, well, what did I just do? And click this and see if it will load. But she would wander over probably around shift ping. Probably around that spot. How do I shift?
You just have to click and hold it down if you're on the. Yep.
She would wander over to that spot and probably cast Spare the Dying, so
Okay.
Kella might be able to be revived a little bit.
Okay.
And because Diana needs to know who this person that she trusted so much was, she needs to understand
Awesome.
what just happened.
Awesome. So Diana approaches the bleeding Kella's body, and you can see that she is praying to Ilmater, kneeling down beside her, just having a hand kind of down rested on her shoulder.
And she'll turn to Kallista and say, Kallista, I'm sorry, but I just need to know. I need to know why.
Callista's not making any move to stop you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. The rest of the group, is anyone else going to do anything towards the Zhentarim who are heading out? If not, I'm going to break us out of initiative order.
No, I'm just standing beside Diana because I'm not trusting her at all.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm begrudgingly returning Elves Gold, saying worst battle royale ever.
You technically made $10 on 10 gold off the guard because Xolkin didn't win.
That's true. Split two
Yeah.
ways.
You can add 10 gold to your inventory, Lachlan. As the guard's like, "God,
Best battle royale ever.
that coward. He looked so much more menacing."
Yeah, well, tune in once every moon here, and we'll have more fights.
Chat's like saying that nat 20 is burning a hole in my virtual hand.
Ooh.
It dies after tonight.
Do I trust Callista's not going to murder Kella for the third time tonight?
Do you?
I think Kallista really just enjoys it. It's like, heal, death, heal, death, heal, death.
Yeah.
No denying. You read me like a book. Like, oh.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and drop the initiative order
Hmm.
as the Zhentarim ride out of Nightstone. They grab Xolkin's horse on the way out. And they seem to disappear out of the drawbridge. Gone.
This music is
Muffin
so
tells
sad.
Poochwa to go to the gate and see which way they head.
Okay. Bourgeois flies off of your shoulder, starts to head towards the front gate, the drawbridge area, kind of perches himself up on top of one of the towers, looks out into the moonlight, into the clearing in front of the village, and continues to watch the horses as they ride away. Kallista, can you make... Actually, Kallista and Lachlan, can you both make perception checks for me?
Sure.
Excellent.
What's Moby doing that he shouldn't be?
You
Holy
both notice this.
rolls!
Oh,
Both notice
Kallista.
Kallista's just riled right now.
As a light breeze starts to gently blow, you both notice that over in this area, the object that Kella had thrown on the ground, the wrapper, kind of the thing that it was wrapped in, starts to unfold and kind of blow in the wind. You catch a little glimmer of something that's shining within. Kallista, you notice it just a little bit before Lachlan does.
Girl, go get it, because if he gets it, he gonna keep it.
Excuse me.
And we will
I
never
will
know.
leave her side for the briefest of moments. I'm not going to touch it, but I want to look at it first.
Okay. As you look down, it's
Investigation or...
you don't even need to roll. It's
Okay.
you notice that it's wrapped up in this. It's almost like just like a cloth. But you notice that it's starting to shimmer, and there's a purplish hue to it. And as you look, you can see that it's Kallista. I believe, were you around when Diana? I think Kallista was the only person that was around when Xolkin handed you that gem that he handed you.
Yes,
Mhm.
an amber stone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was around. She witnessed
yeah,
it.
That's what I thought. Well, this stone looks exactly like the one Diana has. It's smoothly carved and is in that kind of like teardrop shape. But this one is, I think you had like a yellow stone, Diana. This one is like an amethyst. It's a purplish looking stone, but it's the exact same size. It's the exact same carve. And Kallista, you also notice with your perception check that inside this, what looks like to be a cloth, there's some writing on the inside of it.
I'll pick up the note.
I peek my head around Kallista's arm. What'd you find? What'd you find?
Lachlan's head just kind of tucks up underneath your arm.
Anything good? Anything?
Lachlan, you see
What
the
is-
nice shiny gem.
Ooh.
Don't touch. What does the note say?
As you open up the note, you can see that it's written in common. And it starts off with, it just says, Kella. I know that
They had matching.
I know that you don't feel the same. But I love you. And I give this
Kalista already
to
knew that, but yeah.
I give this to you as a token. Token of my love. And I wish the best for us both. I know sometimes I need to go, and I'm gone for several weeks at a time. But just know that it's to build a life together with you. A life together forever. Love, Xolkin.
Kalista's not surprised.
Son of a dog. Son of female dog. Oh. You see, my
Lachlan, as
generation has
Kallista
a
was
weird
reading it, you were
method.
able to read most of it too.
Wow. How
But
about
was
that?
he able to steal the gem?
No, I picked it up.
So shiny.
Wait.
So,
If I look back at Diana, is Kella awake?
Kella is not awake, but she is breathing. She has been spared, but she is not conscious. Is that Molphin hitting somebody
Oh,
else.
what
with his
is this?
staff.
Sorry.
That
Sorry,
is
that was an
something-
opportunity for me to do something. Well,
Okay.
wait, was it? I don't know.
No.
Who was talking?
Molphin
I'm
does not
holding
fit
the
in
letter in the
anywhere else.
note or letter in the stone, but I'm not. I'm just watching Diana first.
Okay.
Okay, I will do a medicine check on her to try and get her conscious.
And I will tell Lachlan to give her time.
What do you mean? Give her time.
Just give Diana time.
Oh.
Okay, Diana, with your
She's a breathing, I think.
medicine check. Yeah, she's definitely breathing. She's definitely okay, but you feel like it's going to take her naturally come back to consciousness. It's going to take probably a good long rest for her to come back to consciousness. And you guys are all
And I
feeling the
thought-
effects right now of how tired you are. I mean, you've been awake for a long time, and you can see that all the elves are almost like seeing that the action is kind of done. They're all starting to gather their things and head back towards the center of town as well because they're exhausted.
I'm gonna
Come back for the next fight.
I'm gonna restrain Kella in ropes and tie her
Yeah.
up.
Okay.
I was gonna invite someone to do that. Good. Thank you, Kallista.
I don't want her awake while you're here,
Yeah.
like
and I
unarmed.
just
No.
Yeah.
Moby, it
And I
seems
just
like the
don't
guards
know who I
around
can
you
trust
and
more.
the elves are kind of walking back towards the center of town away from you as you're standing there, and you can see your friends ahead of you, about 40, 50 feet in front of you, all kind of. You can see the two half elves are roping and tying somebody up.
Molphin's going to come over and help because now he's got rope too.
Yeah,
Oh.
Molphin's
And he's going to try to rope Kella to Diana. This way she can't go anywhere without Diana knowing.
Kallista's wrapping this rope around. All of a sudden, Molphin comes around and starts just running around both Diana and Kella. It's just like he's like doing these
I'm sure there's a more effective way, Molphin.
While they're busy, I want to duck aside and cast a message to tell Kella, this is a setback, but play along.
Okay. She's still technically unconscious,
Oh,
so I don't
Yeah.
know if she could receive
She
a
wouldn't have heard
message if she's unconscious.
true.
So as a crowd,
And let's
is
be honest,
dispersing-
Molphin's not running, he's hobbling and walking.
Okay, yeah. What were you saying there, Moby?
As the crowd is dispersing, Moby's just kind of like gonna saunter up, and he's gonna be like, "What are you doing?
And where have you been, you
Who's that?
lazy
Who
good
you got
for
there?
bum?
Sleeping like you all should be. What are you doing?
We
What
were
have
until
I
the
been doing?
Zhentarim
Who are you
attacked.
tying? What are you? Stop that!
Yeah, stop that.
I won't.
I'm gonna
I
try and
trust her as
push
much
my
as
way
I trust
through Kallista
throwing a
and
rock at
Diana.
her.
So Moby's kind of pushing through. Kallista's kind of standing her ground.
Molphin is still tying Diana and Kella together.
What have you done to her?
Restraining her.
They're bullying her.
Stop.
This is a step beyond bullying. She's bleeding.
Well, there may have been a point where she was mauled by a bear, then brought back to life, then mauled by a bear again, and then brought back to life again.
Bullying.
I'm gonna look between Molphin and look. I know Kallista turns into a bear, so I'm gonna look at her and just feel like, why?
I don't trust her.
Why?
I don't trust her.
Me neither.
So you kill her?
She didn't listen. I gave her a chance.
We should
You
embrace.
kill
peace.
everyone that doesn't listen to you? Is that normal? Is that normal for you?
It is when I don't
Well.
trust her.
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna
It is.
lay some hands on Kella.
Okay.
Oh no. No.
Who's gonna kill her again
Just
after
grab her
this?
by the cheeks. Just give her like 3 hit.
Okay, 3 hit points. So, as Muffin continues to tie Kella to Diana.
Oh my god.
Oops, I subtracted 3.
This is going to be awkward. She's going to wake up and be face to face like this with
I was gonna say,
Diana.
she opens her eyes and gazes into Diana's eyes with a very shocked, confused look on her face. What is going on? And looks over and kind of catches the view of everybody else. And why am I tied up? Why does the bear keep biting me?
Because we can't exactly trust you entirely, not entirely, knowing everything that your organization has
I'll
done.
never trust her.
And Xolkin fled, and he's gone now, and that ship has sailed.
He got away.
Yes, he did.
Kella kind of casts a look over at Lachlan, kind of a look of despair.
I sigh heavily.
Kella. Kella.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you a few questions since I have a captive audience. And captive audience.
Question. She's been in and out of consciousness for the past, what, half an hour? An hour? What are you doing?
What did you say? I did not hear that. What did you say? I didn't hear.
This poor woman has been in and out of consciousness for the past hour. Leave her alone.
It wasn't that long.
Listen, you weren't here. A lot of drama went down. I'm a little bit emotionally damaged, and I don't really care what she's going through. So, Kella, explain. What? You told me that Xolkin murdered and threw children into moats, which is really weird and psychotic, and that he extorted families. I just need answers. I need to know who this person that I trusted was.
You're not the only one who's fallen for his ruthless charm. Don't be so hard on yourself.
And I'm sure you're entirely innocent.
Yes, insight check. Found.
You can, yeah, you can insight check it.
Trust now. I'm in checking her. Not terrible.
You guys, neither of you feel like she's lying about Xolkin, but you do have a sense that she is not trying to play innocent with this. Obviously, she's in the Zhentarim faction, which isn't, they don't fly straight all the time. So
Let's not be too harsh.
So, but you get a sense as if some of them try to, rather than be more for the faction, they end up being a little bit more for themselves. And she's trying to open your eyes to the fact that Xolkin was probably more in it for himself than he was for the faction. And a Zhentarim trait is to always put the faction first, even though you're power hungry and you're trying to do that, you're trying to do it for the faction, not for just you personally. So you guys kind of get the sense that that's where she's coming from with all this. But she kind of looks at you, Diana, and says, He's done this before. He's done it with me. And the thing about me is I knew about more of his past being a part of this faction. I knew what he was about. I knew about his other interests.
And what about your other interests? And I look at Lachlan.
Oh.
My other interests.
Don't play dumb. I have an insight of 20, bitch.
Do I see Kallista look over at Lachlan like that?
Are you trying to hide
I
it?
wasn't being subtle.
No, yeah. If she wasn't trying to hide it, sure. Yeah, you guys can all see it if you choose to. Yes.
As she says that, Molfin immediately looks over, follows her gaze to Lachlan. Hand comes up.
Lachlan, come over here.
Lachlan marches over.
What is she talking about? What interest in you?
I have
Want to
no
be
idea.
honest, Lachlan?
What? I have no idea what you're all talking about.
Don't play dumb.
Well, I mean, I'm a charming gnome.
I'm not talking about your charms.
You do have my blood, so...
Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, Gramps
Yes, you're
knows
both
it.
very charming, but tell the truth, Lachlan.
She said we're charming. I reach out to high five Gramps.
Molfin and Lachlan share a quick high five. I can't hear you there, Diana. You cut me out a little bit.
Diana was
Thank
just being Diana.
Okay.
I was not just scolding them. Trying to, at least.
That's it. Kella sort of looks to you, Kallista, and is... You can see, like, she's a little hesitant to start speaking, especially with Lachlan standing there. But starts to say, I'm sorry, but my interest in Lachlan is strictly professional.
Ugh.
I know.
And you,
It's okay.
Kallista, you do have a sense that it is strictly a professional business.
Yeah, but I
type
want to know what
relationship.
was in the letter. That's what Callista's asking. She knows that they have an exchange of some sort, and she wants answers now.
The letter.
Regardless if it's romantic or whatever the hell it is, she wants to know what was in the letter.
The letter.
Give me a reason not to kill you, Kella.
Oh,
The letter
that
was
escalated
simply.
quickly.
The letter was simply an invitation to service.
I'm looking at Lachlan.
We need people like Lachlan. People with his skill, people with his talents. I feel sometimes that Lachlan's skills and abilities get overshadowed by, well, and she casts a gaze to Moby and Molfin.
Aww. He's fine as he is. He doesn't need your help.
That is, frankly, a rather manipulative idea that I would...
She is manipulative. She's been conniving and manipulative this whole time. I don't know how you guys haven't seen it.
She's an angel.
I would terrible.
I know Diana believes me, but the rest of them don't.
No.
It's... I've never forced Lachlan into anything. It's all Lachlan's decision.
Oh, yes. Right. And everything involving Xolkin was entirely my decision. Does that make up for the fact that he lied to me? No.
He is a liar.
And you're in the same faction as him. What does that make you?
Let's not be biased.
Well, by that logic, Diana, you are in the same race as the elves who just assisted us. You must be racist and hate all goblins as well. Should we go on a crusade and murder Gum Gum, as those elves wanted to earlier?
Zhentarim are not a race. It's a choice.
I think there's been enough murdering for one day.
No
I
correlation.
think we could keep that minimum,
I'm not saying
please.
we murder her. God,
I like Moby's philosophy. I'm always in favor of peace.
And I'm not saying we kill her. I just don't want her here.
I will go. I will leave.
Really? Really? But
Kella,
Kelly, you're talented. There's a lot
if
of
I
work
see you
here.
speaking to Lachlan ever again, I will kill you.
Fair enough. Fair
He's a
enough.
grown man. He can make his own
Lachlan,
decisions.
she
but-
kind of casts a look
So
towards
can
you
I.
and has almost this look of defeat in her face a bit, and says, "It's looks up towards the kind of like the middle of the village where there's still a little bit of embers burning in this big bonfire that was happening in the front. Some of the guards are still awake and up, and she's just like, it just seems like this endeavor is finished. I will go. I will leave. I have no reason to stay."
I tell her, totally, and then I wink at her.
Stop glaring at you, Lachlan.
I'm gonna clear a path for her to
I use my dagger to let her go.
just to get her, just move these people out of the way and just hope that Kella doesn't get attacked from behind.
You, Kallista, you just cut that rope. You know how long it took me to obtain that? You'll be paying for that. I will take solid gold coin. It took me a while to obtain that.
How much do you want?
We'll have to go to the store tomorrow and find out how much it costs.
Diana,
I will give
Diana.
you 5 gold just to shut you up.
Agreed.
I'd take that. That's good. That's good. Yep.
Okay. So while that transaction happened,
Diana would just like to turn to Lachlan and put a hand on his shoulder and say, "You are valued here. Don't need to go over to the dark side."
Oh, it means so much to me. Then I want to cast message to tell Kella. I want to say, we're probably going to Bryn Shander. The mission continues.
You get a message back in your mind, Lachlan, and and you hear, "Great."
Well, I warned her she's gonna die soon. I gave her 1 chance, ma'am.
She's been murdered by you twice already. Third time won't be any different.
It's become a form of torture, I think. Me and Kallista, you killed her, and then I revive her, and then she kills you again, and I revive her again. It's just...
Team tall.
Team tall. So, Moby, are you going to continue to escort her to the drawbridge in front of Nightstone?
Yep.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Is anybody else going with, or is he kind of going
Yep,
by
I'm
himself?
following her. I'm
Alright.
making sure she leaves.
Alright, Callista's in tow. Anybody else?
Diana wants to go home and cry into her pillow and eat ice cream.
Okay.
I stay with
Diana,
Diana and I say, I'm so happy that you've rescued me from these poor life choices.
Well, I just... Well, thank you. I know what it feels like, and I just wouldn't wish that on anyone. And I will
Aww.
go alone, quietly, sadly, and cry for a while.
And Diana, Morak has some places set up for you guys to stay in the Nightstone Inn, where you stay.
That's where Molfin's heading.
Let me add this to her.
He's also has some simple cots made kind of downstairs, and like he's cleared out like the dining room area to see if he can kind of shelter some of the elves and the guards and things like that. Even though there's a couple of the rooms in the Nightstone Inn are completely smashed in. And Moby, as you get there with Kallista and Kella just kind of seems to nod in appreciation for you escorting her to the drawbridge. And she simply just kind of walks off and walks
Don't forget.
walking down the path. She kind of looks back as she hears that. Just gives you a simple nod, Kallista. and slowly pulls her cloak over her head and seems to vanish into the distance as she continues to walk away.
Okay. I've realized that I need to mark off a boyfriend from my treasure list. Also,
That's
I
okay.
am
You have a new one in Lachlan.
Okay.
Lachlan is just a playboy, man.
Yeah. I think
That's
we were,
chat is throwing some love towards Lachlan. You know,
Yeah, the Lachlana ship.
yeah,
Lachlan Kella.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At least I'm assuming that, unless it's Lachlan Kallista.
Like
You know,
Actually,
Stumpy,
an NA, so
Stumpy, I do like the way you think, Stumpy. If Lachlan and Kella get together and start writing notes to each other,
oh, it's
Kallista can't
Diana.
kill it.
Lachlan Diana.
okay.
Oh,
great.
okay.
That'd be okay.
Lachana, okay. Yeah, now I can see how that makes sense. So yeah, as long as they write notes to each other, technically Kallista can't say anything. They're not talking.
Don't
Technicality.
semantics me. Callista doesn't play by semantics, bro.
Hey, that's your buddy, not me. I'm innocent. That is Stump.
So, Moby and
help.
Kallista, are you guys headed back to the Nightstone Inn as well to get a good night's rest?
Yes, for now.
Yep,
Okay.
exactly. Eyes forward. I'm not even looking at Kallista. I'm just walking to my little patch.
Oh, you're gonna just kind of set back down in your nice grassy patch in front of the Nightstone Inn.
I'm gonna find Diana.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
So as
I'm
you
going to give
guys-
up whatever room they offered to Molfin and take a cot. Let somebody from the village who needs a room take the room.
All right.
Molfin will just sleep on the cot with the elves.
Okay. Excellent. Very good. So honestly, you guys kind of all retire for the evening. You take a nice, long, well-deserved rest, as it's been several episodes since you guys have actually slept.
Yeah.
Oh god.
We're exhausted. So much has happened. So much has transpired. The attack of the orcs on Nightstone, meeting the elves, going to the Dripping Caves, take care of all that, coming back, dealing with the drama between Kella and Xolkin, and the 7 snakes of the Zhentarim, and you all wake up the next morning completely refreshed. So if you've had any hit points or hit dice taken off or anything, you guys are all completely filled back up with your spells and things like that. And
As Molfin wakes up, he's going to walk out the front door, see Moby, and do a triple backflip over him.
there he is. Yes. Go ahead and make an acrobatics check for me.
Nat 20!
Yeah, you asked for it. You're going to get it.
Nat 20. Stumpy jumps in with a nat 20. Nat 20 that. Nat 20, there it is. Molfin, please describe this for all of our viewers. You threw in the nat 20.
So as Molfin walks out, and he sees Moby sitting there, is Moby starting to wake up where he had some sleep, or is he still completely unconscious?
He wakes up as your shadow kind of goes over top of him.
So as Molfin will walk out, and after spending so much time with cloak that he found and thinking about, Moby would get good use of this, as he walks out, sees him there, he's like, let's give it to him in style. And he steps forward, crouches down, and jumps with the cloak in his hand out in front of him, rotates the full 3 times, and as he lands down behind Moby with the cloak draped over his shoulders, a la James Brown.
Yes. That was well worth that nat 20, guys. That is awesome. Mr. Carrot Rope
You know, a
chimes in.
lot of
Molfen
things have
delivers.
happened
Eat that,
over the
youngsters.
past 24 hours. A lot of things have happened over the past 24 hours, but that was the strangest thing I had seen.
Enjoy the cloak.
Keep it.
Molfen and Moby, make perception checks for me. And Moby, you actually have advantage on this check.
I used all my skill in the last one.
Molfen just notices it a little bit after Moby casts his eyes on it. But Moby, as you're coming to and seeing this awesome display of acrobatics from your... Oh my goodness. As he's
For this
striking
300.
as he's busy striking a pose. You can see way up in the sky, there is a cloud. And on the cloud seems to be a very large tower. And you can barely make it out because it's probably about a couple thousand feet up. You can see that the top of the tower has like this blue hat on it. And you also notice, and then Molfen also starts to cast his gaze as you guys almost catch a glimpse of the cloud kind of tower catching a shadow from the sun that's just kind of barely up over the horizon. Something starts to descend slowly in a spiral, and it looks like more cloud. And it's
Okay, this is the strangest thing I've seen within the past 24 hours. What is this?
Retract.
And it continues to drop down, and you see it kind of disappear behind, because you're laying kind of in between Nightstone Inn and the temple. It disappears as it descends behind the temple, almost as if like the spiraling cloud heads towards the ground in front of Nightstone.
Oh, we have to see what this is. Come on.
Just go. This
I'm gonna grab most
cannot be natural.
dragon.
So Moby grabs you by the shirt, by the cloak, Molfen. and he
I'm
starts
eagerly
dragging.
going with him. Is that Molfen is sure this has to be magic. This is natural.
Okay, excellent. So, you guys head on out, start walking over across the drawbridge, and you can see about 200 feet away in front of you, pretty good distance, but there is a spiral staircase that has dropped from this cloud tower in the sky. And it's just a few inches hovering off of the ground, holding steady. It looks like steps that lead up, but they're made of cloud.
Oh, you know
Molfen's
I can't resist this.
Oh,
I'm
no.
going towards it.
Molfen's going with
Jump
him,
off him.
but he sends Poochwa back to wake the other three.
Okay.
I would have been talking with Diana in the morning.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Diana and Kallista are actually both enjoying some breakfast. Lachlan,
I'm
what
not
would-
enjoying anything. Pressed.
Lachlan, what would you be doing at this point in time?
Sleeping in.
Lachlan, all of a sudden you start to feel the little, it feels like a snake's tongue quickly like licking your ear.
Kella! I'm not ready for this yet, Kella! Please.
Should've nat 20
Yeah.
that.
Where Lachlan's mind
That's
is
right.
at.
20 pro
God
wet
damn it.
marine.
You're nasty.
As Lachlan, as you start to open your eyes, you realize it's Molfin's bourgeois like in your face. This blue and yellow flying snake is giving you this awkward look. His tongue like
I'm
flipping
gonna
out
get
at
an
you.
awkward look.
It's sort of
Hey,
like,
Poochwa. Hey.
Bourgeois seems to be beckoning you. Yep.
Oh, where do you want me to go?
Stitch up, lads. Nat 1 for a wet dream. Oh no.
Oh my god.
Oh, Twitch chat.
God damn
Look at that.
Well,
Someone's going to hell.
we're rated PG-13.
Are we though? Are we?
Bourgeois,
Not at all.
Bourgeois, after beckoning Lachlan, gets a little impatient, starts to fly downstairs.
Fine, I try
sees,
to grab my bow and try to catch up.
Sees Diana and Kallista kind of sitting together. Diana seems to be still in a lot of despair. And
I'm just mushing
heartbreak.
up my food. I'm not even eating it.
Mushing up her food. And,
Good morning, you two. Nothing awkward happened yesterday.
Bourgeois seems to kind of fly down and kind of slither a little bit in front of both of you and start flicking his tongue out towards both of you, kind of beckoning you as well to looking towards the door.
Diane, I think something's wrong.
What isn't wrong?
No.
I don't think Bourgeois can communicate with him, can he?
No, telepathically with me. That's it. Best they're going to get from it is, a couple of tail smacks across the face.
He grabs the fork out of Diana's hand, just tosses it.
Okay.
I'm hoping that by the time they get out there, me and Moby are like halfway up the stairs.
I hope Gramps isn't in trouble.
Diana, me and you can talk later. Let's just make sure everyone's okay, and I help her stand up.
Okay.
Oh my god, JJ.
Catch me next episode.
Like, firebolt, I guess.
Also, I want to thank Stumpy because I think it was him. When I was saying I'm gonna mark that I have a boyfriend on my character sheet, he was like, "Make sure you marked it as a cursed object."
Stumpy foreshadowed it. He called it the whole time.
Stumpy knew what was up, and he let me make my dumb decision anyways. He warned you.
He says, "It was not me."
It wasn't.
Who was it?
I think he might be being sarcastic. I don't know. All right. So as you guys are all heading out following Bourgeois.
Yep.
And you guys can see that, Nightstone is still. Some people are awake. Some people are starting to move things around. But you guys notice that there is this large tower with a big blue hat on it, way up in the air, 1,000 feet overhead. And you can see the spiral staircase. In the distance, you can see
That's not foreboding.
two little figures, about
Oh my!
a quarter of the way up these steps.
Keep forgetting they're related to Lachlan.
One has beaming red hair, as they look like, and Moby, it seems like Moby is leading the way, and it seems like Molfin has to stop every once in a while to catch his breath. And Moby is just beckoning him
Running
on.
so fast, tripping it.
Oh. It's not how I want to wake up in the morning.
Come on, Molfin. Let's get to the top
working
quickly. Come on.
I'm
Do you have
racing
any idea
over.
how old I am?
Faster!
I'm racing over.
You just did a triple backflip. Come on. This should be easy for you.
Sigh.
What was that, Diana?
I said I will run after Kella with a very deep sigh. Just
Kallista. I am not
We're
Kella.
keeping up there. Wait, hold on.
dang it.
Raw. Dinah's throwing shade.
It wasn't shade.
And
It's confused me.
Moby, as Molfin, as you guys are headed up, you guys notice that even though this looks like cloud steps that you're running on, they're basically like regular medium human size, so they're a little bit big for you guys, but still not that bad. You're able to kind
Why are
of
they not
make your way.
Jewish size? Did
And
they
you're-
not see you?
It's like solid. Your feet don't go through the clouds at all. It's just you're just climbing up.
What are you two doing?
Kallista's shouting up the steps towards you.
Gramps!
Hurry up down there!
What is this?
Basically, it's magic, 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 magic.
It's the echo. There you go. Love it.
There's
Keep
probably
them
treasure at
alive
the
so
top
I
of this thing.
follow.
Treasure.
Okay. And you all continue to head up the spiral staircase. Moby is the first to reach the top. Still filled with energy. He seemed to put a little bit of distance on Mulfin, though, as he reaches the top. And when you do, you see that there is you're standing on a cloud. But the cloud is relatively solid for your feet. You're not falling through it. And you can
this
see...
is so cool. I'm gonna pee my pants. This is oh my lord. This is so good.
He's gonna what?
And as you're standing in front of this tower, you notice that it is simply massive. It's a massive tower that sticks kind of straight. It's just straight up in front of you, huge. And you can see that there is a kind of like an opening that looks kind of like a front area, a front door area. But there are these large kind of burgundy curtains kind of pulled in front of it. You also notice that the large blue hat that's on top seems to be it looks to be a wizard's hat that has these golden moons and stars kind of printed all over it at the top of the tower. And you can see that there are some skinny windows that are placed in some areas of the tower as you look at it from the front. And I might be able to have here. Let me see if I can grab this. I might have a picture to show you of what you actually see. Let's see if it'll let me do this.
Moby, how much farther up there is it?
You have to see this. This is so big. Wow.
All right,
Like mine.
I'm gonna pull you guys over. I'm probably gonna have to pull your tokens in for you to be able to see it. You guys seeing just a black screen right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me I'm gonna pull your tokens in. They'll be there. Lachlan there.
Where?
What?
Wolfen there.
Oh,
Diana there.
What?
wow.
And Kallista
Wait.
here.
Look at me, I'm flying.
You are not really there. This is just the image that you see.
What?
And each one of those squares is 5 feet,
Oh, I would have been
believe.
beside
No,
Diana.
one square is 10 feet.
Ooh, wow. Wow.
So you guys are actually seeing how massive this tower is.
Molfin is just going to look at Moby and just... Wow! Wee! This is incredible.
Last line inside is a rotten egg.
So
Molfin's going to try to trip him.
No way.
Molfin's going to try to trip Moby and take off running.
Okay, so
Follow
Molfin wants to
this
get in
thing.
first. Okay, go ahead and make a contested check there, Molfin and Moby. Molfin, I guess that would be a make that strength for a trip. And Moby, if you want to try to either kind of just force your way through it or try to jump over it, you can do either strength or dex.
Alright, it's gonna be Dex, and I'm gonna use that inspiration.
Okay. Gotta beat a 9. Oh yeah. Moby sees that coming all day long.
Gotta be quicker than that, old man.
And as Moby enters first, Molfin, you just see the curtain kind of just fly out, and Moby's red hair disappear behind the burgundy curtain as it closes. Molfin runs in right behind him. Lachlan, Diana, and Kallista, you guys also reach the top. notice that all you see is the burgundy front of this tower that you see is just kind of gently moving to a halt as your two gnome friends have already gone inside.
Okay, I guess we're doing this.
Did they go in?
So,
Who was the last one up the steps? Who would have been the last one?
I thought it was Kallista, then
Kallista.
me,
Callista
then
and Diana?
Locke.
Lachlan would have been last. Lachlan,
Yes.
Slow down.
as you reach the top, Lachlan, you do notice that the steps beneath you had been rising back up about 20 feet behind you as you were walking up. So
Guys?
as you get to the top,
Guys?
the steps have completely
We're gonna die.
pulled up.
We have
now
a problem.
You are all 1,000 feet high with this tower on this cloud.
Diana seriously contemplating jumping right now.
oh no! I stop you.
I blame this on Moby.
Moby wants to jump off this.
Well, if there's water, at least he has the cloak now, even though he hasn't attuned to it and has no idea what it can do yet.
Experimenting with floor.
I'm gonna invent skydiving.
Well, I'd offer to make a bungee
Come on, build
jumping,
me
but
some goggles.
some dark elf, some half dark elf, chopped up my rope.
I
But
still
she
have
paid
rope.
for it, so.
Darn. I need 10 feet of rope now. Is that a bungee?
Bungee
So,
jumping.
You guys headed on
I've seen her
inside, the
phone
rest of
whip.
you?
Pardon?
Are we?
You guys headed on inside?
Well, if we can't go out, and that's where we last saw them, yeah.
Okay. So the rest of you pull through the curtain. Oh, stretching out Molfin. I don't want to do that.
Enlarge.
And I'm kind of putting you guys over what you see whenever you walk through the curtain.
Oh!
Okay? So you guys are going to be moving to the left on the map a little bit.
Left.
Left
Oh.
on the map. And I'm kind of putting you guys just in the room so you guys can see exactly what you're seeing. Trying to make your tokens somewhat a decent size.
So you said each individual square, though, is 10 feet?
I think the darker lines are the 10 feet.
Okay.
And the solid
Oh,
lines are
yeah,
the
that
5
makes
feet. I think that makes more sense. I think that's how they have this map. Can you guys all see that?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So you guys have walked through, and this place is pretty massive inside. There are these. Here, let me double check. As you get in, the tower feels very solid underfoot, and it almost seems like the inside of the tower is actually made out of like a stone, even though it's flying on a cloud. It leads into after you kind of pull through the curtain, there is a 100-foot high chamber inside, and it contains this giant-sized wooden table and a very large stone chair behind the giant table. Dangling from the ceiling by iron chains are 6 crystal spheres that seem to glow with a magical flame, and they keep the room very brightly lit. And up at the top, you can see that there is a 20-foot wide hole in the ceiling where that kind of dotted dashed line is on your map. And as you sort of gaze up towards the top of this massive first floor of this tower, you can see almost into there's a second floor above. You all notice that through the hole in the top, these large feet start to slowly descend out of the hole in the top.
Nope.
And
I'm gonna take a few steps back.
Yep.
you see a billowing purple robe with golden embroidery.
I want to stand in front of the gnomes, though.
Okay.
Molfin will stand off on his own, just look.
I am trying to click my token.
Yeah, maybe he's not even looking up. He's like going over the whole room, and he's like gobsmacked, like he's just seeing the Sistine Chapel for the first time. It's like, whoa.
I want to
This is
move
obviously
behind
a
the
magic
table.
user.
Well, no, I'll move next to the table, so if I need to, I can hide underneath it.
There you go. Diana's slowly going to the table. And as this figure slowly descends, you start to see his face kind of appears, and he's slowly moving down. There's a figure stands, or slowly descending down, is a massive figure. He stands probably between 16 and 18 feet high. And he slowly comes down to that, descending down that 100 feet, and these little sandals these large sandals that he has kind of rest down onto the floor. And his robe kind of just falls down to the floor. He has these very kind of wrinkly kind of skin on his face, these billowing white, almost cloud-like mystical hair, a very intricate beard that kind of flows down, very skinny, down to kind of like the middle of his stomach area. And he looks towards all of you and looks down at all of you. Oh, there you are. You're the ones that they told me about.
Whoa!
There you are. Welcome.
But of course we're the ones you have told us of. You invited us.
I did?
Moby, did we not see stairs descend from here?
Maybe he's distracted. He's like, kind of like looking at this guy's feet, and I'm looking up at this like gigantic beard, and he's kind of thinking like, man, I want to climb that.
Oh.
Oh.
I could scale that beard.
Molfin just shaking his head.
Yeah, stairs. Yep, lots of stairs. Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why Moby's pet is a squirrel.
He kind of looks at all of you again, giving you just like a second glance. Oh, invited. Yes. Yes. Well, the extraplanar entities, they said that you were the ones.
I'm
Gramps, what's extraplanar?
When he says that, I kind of look at the raven. I'm assuming the raven followed me, and it didn't stay behind.
Yeah, he's kind of perched on one of the shoulders of those giant sculptures that are in the room with you guys.
Molfin will...
Just kind of give him
Call
like a
him Lachlan.
little squint.
Lachlan, those are magical beings of great power that reside in other planes.
Who exactly sent you? And why?
Who were they? It was the extraplanar entities, the ones that I speak to.
Oh, you're a religious man.
They
Okay,
told
I understand.
They told me that you were the ones. And I'm so glad.
Whoa.
I'm so glad that I found you.
What?
Where do you get sandals that big?
The ones
I
for
have-
what?
A really big
Oh.
cobbler.
I have a question.
The ones to restore the ordning.
The what now? Spell that?
What?
Have you heard of the ordning?
or
I heard the ordinate. Wait.
order?
Okay.
Ordering? How do you spell that, Michael?
Ordering. O-R-D.
Order.
Let me double check just to
Warning.
make sure.
Wow, this guy's not snouted you,
What's an
Morphin.
ordning?
I want to make sure.
Ordning.
ORDNING. Ordning.
And ordering.
Ordning.
Michael,
Would Would I know what that means? Do I do history, arcana?
Yeah, can we history
Yes,
arcana?
yes, you guys can
Diane?
do. Yeah, you can do arcana if you want. It probably be more of like a. It could be a religion check.
History?
It could be.
Religion?
It'd probably be history, religion, something on those lines. So any of you want to make a check on that, you could probably do that.
Nah, I ain't proficient. Yeah, I'm gonna ask him. Whoa, where do you get sandals that big? I've never seen anything like that. Whoa.
Oh, these. Oh, these were made just from.
I know what it is.
Yeah, Diana. You, in some of your religious studies, have heard that even though you're not too familiar with giants in general, but the way their culture and their way of life seems to be set by the gods. Their gods kind of determine where they are in the chain of their status. And the ordning is that chain. So for example, like your storm giants are on the top of the chain, and they basically kind of are in kind of control. And then your lesser giants kind of fall underneath them in a specific order. The ordning is that order. So like the storm giants are at the top, the cloud giants are underneath, the stone giants are underneath, and at the very bottom you've got your hill giants.
Okay.
And the gods kind
Okay.
of determine, kind of who's in charge and who rules over who, things like that.
Is it like a caste system, basically?
Kind of, yes. And it's like the storm giant, there's always like a storm giant that's in charge of all the storm giants, and goes down, and all the storm giants are ahead of the next level, and then it keeps on going down from there.
Okay. Alright. I forgot what he said, except for something about an ordning, so I don't know what to ask him, so...
Okay. He kind of looks at you and just kind of looks over, and he kind of just, after saying that, is like, hola, welcome to my home. I'll be glad to assist you.
Molfin will give a very deep bow, and in giant, say greetings and thank you.
That's my gramps.
In giant. He kind of bows back and looks towards the rest of you and says, Are you hungry?
All my languages are gone. So
I suppose I haven't eaten.
If you go back to the simple form, it'll show all the languages you had.
Yeah, use your cogwheel on your character sheet.
Okay, good, because I knew that I had a bunch. I just noticed it because I was looking like, I know giant, right?
I thought you did. I thought one of
Yeah, I
the
did.
other person.
But Diana's holding back.
Yeah, I think you might have.
Under the cogwheel, if you change proficiencies in languages back to simple, it'll put it back to the one we used initially to set it up.
Thank you.
And he kind of looks at you after it. Kind of everybody seems like they've had something to eat or breakfast or something like that.
Yeah, we're fine.
Looks towards you and says, well, how can I be of service? How can I help all of you?
Well, you came to us, so you tell us what you need.
I want the ordning to be put back in its proper place.
And you think we can do that?
What's this ordning?
You don't know the
You
ordning?
keep saying it, I don't know what it means.
Oh, well, I actually...
No? Is
Who
that
doesn't know the
is that a
ordning?
thing?
So Diana tries to chime in, hiding behind the table.
Peeking out a little bit.
And the ordering has been broken by the gods. And I've been seeking ways to try to help. I've been spending many times casting spells that allow me to speak to the extraplanar entities. And they sent me to you.
Can I insight check this?
Sure.
Yes.
So confused.
Gramps, do you know these spells?
Nope, I'm still confused.
You're kind of confused, but you have a feeling he's being honest, but he's also a little bit,
Ew.
possibly all these spells that he's been casting has
Messing with his head?
been messing with his head a bit, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Kind of what I
Lachlan.
thought, but
I do not know these spells, Lachlan, but I am hoping to convince this gentleman to perhaps tutor me in some of these.
Yeah, I like
He
this guy.
seemed-
I like this guy.
Could be of use to us.
Yeah.
He is offering to help. Lachlan, where did you say we were meant to be going?
Whoa.
Wasn't there someone before we had
Brimshanders?
yesterday?
Brimshander?
That dwarf, I think, needed us to go to Bryn Shander and help him. I'm moved by his needs.
Can I insight
Wait, shouldn't we
Lachlan?
go back and let the church know? Shouldn't we let the church know that we've done what they asked? That's the whole reason we went to Nightstone.
Lachlan, are you
Alright.
trying to be deceptive?
Yep.
Okay.
No.
No, yeah, Callista's got an idea. Like you're pulling.
I don't
it
give
on,
a
buddy. You're
hoot
pouring it
about
on.
that dwarf, yeah.
Callista does, though, so she's wanting to go to the... Yeah, she'll explain to him about the dwarf, about wanting to let brother know that his neighbor passed away.
Oh, Bryn Shander, you say? Oh, well, I can get you there. No problem.
I really like this guy.
How long would it take in this marvelous magical castle of yours in the clouds?
Oh, not long at all. Not long at all. And you notice he starts to levitate back up. And he starts to slowly head on back up towards the hole in the roof. And as he's almost to the top, and he looks back down towards you, Malfin, and says, oh, yes, that's right. Get
Molfin casts levitate and follows right
So-
along with him.
It's like,
You ain't showing me up.
you're like level. You're floating up behind him, and he's like, oh,
right up behind him.
you may want to get just a little bit comfortable. It will take us about 26 days.
Excuse me?
On this?
Yes.
Oh, this is when maybe like.
How far is it to walk?
Yeah,
It
but
would
we know
take-
that.
It would take a very long time to walk.
Oh. Okay, then.
26 days.
Okay, we are riding on
It will be an easy journey. Trust me.
We're gonna do a time skip.
Well, we have 26 days to talk it out.
Oh,
So-
no.
Get ready.
Oh, no.
And as-
This RP sessions for
About
days.
what's
As,
been going
as
on.
his feet disappear above to the second floor, Muffin, are you following him up to the second floor?
I'm gonna follow him up. I want to talk to him and
Okay.
see if he's
All four of the rest of you notice that Muffin disappears up into the hole in the second floor.
Can we push this thing
And-
a little harder?
And that's where we're gonna end tonight's session because we're already 30 minutes
Oh
over
my
time.
God. Oh my god. 26 days?
What?
Awesome. That was so much
Molfin
fun.
just disappears.
Amazing.
Yeah, I did want a bond. That's true.
you know what? I just want to say, man, I tell you what, that's incredible. We went from the conflict with the Zhentarim to riding in a giant's tower because Moby just cannot contain himself.
Nope, he cannot escape.
Finally, the clock started.
26 days of lectures for
So, I just want to say thanks to all the players tonight. I want to thank the chat. Man, the chat has been awesome tonight. They have been so involved in the
On
story.
fire.
No, the
And-
chat gets no thanks. The chat cost me my
Salty,
activity.
salty.
Mulfin's a bit salty about the chat throwing the nat 1 at him.
What? You got a nat 20?
It was a character for Kallista, though. She wasn't backing down.
No, this is true.
Well, I just want to let's go ahead and dish out a nat 20 for the next time that we meet.
Oh my god.
Players, what do you guys think as far as role play, combat, or anything that transpired tonight? Well, who would you throw out the nat 20 to for next time?
Moby for sleeping the entire time.
Moby for snoozing, yeah.
Technically, I was in
I'm
hospital.
torn between Lachlan's bets and Diana's end burn as he ran away.
Ooh, yeah.
God, that's
I'm
I really
torn
like the way
between
that-
those two.
I like the way that Molfin controlled the situation. That's like a very Molfin thing to he's not about blowing people away with fireballs. He's about handling the area.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I was genuinely touched by everyone's concern for Diana. Molfin's comment, will you upset my friend so you
Oh, that was cool.
That was
That
good.
was
And,
cool.
and
And
Molfin
Kallista
trying to
was.
wrestle that rope off the horse. And just going all Yoda on the guy. Just that.
That was wonderful.
What did Lachlan do?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
we're gonna.
Diana.
I think we've got a lot for Molfin tonight, so I think I'm gonna throw the nat 20 at Molfin, and everybody else will have DM's inspiration for next time. JJ, I hope you start to feel better, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Get you,
6 weeks on crutches.
6 weeks on crutches, man.
-2 to dex.
yeah.
Is your leg
That-
gonna heal, right?
Probably not. He's going to do something stupid with it. Go get into a kicking competition with a red kangaroo.
I mean, I'm just concerned that you're gonna be 50 and you're gonna be walking around I have knee problems.
He's gonna be talking like Molfin.
He's already 50.
Probably is.
Man, I'm looking good for my age.
You guys are amazing. Well,
How old is Obi?
I just want to remind everybody that next week we will not have episode 13 of Storm King's Thunder because I will be out of town and Christy is also going to be.
I'm flying to Hong Kong that day,
So
so I
Christy
can't
will be-
even get internet.
Flying to Hong Kong. I have a.
yeah.
But I
Next
will be.
week, I'm
I
out
have
of there
internet, so I
as
will be
well.
there for the following Friday, even though I'm still in Hong Kong.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, so we'll be able to get back on the following Friday. Matthew is going to run a one-shot next week for all of you interested in tuning in on Friday. We're still going to have a stream running. It's going to be Matthew at the helm, DMing a one-shot with the rest of our cast, plus a couple from our Monday night group who play Tomb of Annihilation with Matthew on Monday nights. And don't forget to tune in this Monday. They've got a new episode coming out here at Proficiency Bonus. That's going to be awesome. So don't forget to tune in. And don't forget, if you haven't followed yet, make sure you hit that follow button. If you want to subscribe, click that subscribe button for us. We're still trying to get 100 followers so we can give away those awesome module, a monster manual, and a set of dice. And another big thanks to Many-Sided Dice for allowing us to use their discount code for just our Proficiency Bonus viewers. And
So make sure if you run your games, check out that Lost Artifacts of Greygas. Heck of a book.
Yep, got to check it out. Check it out. They're a really great resource. Got so many things down here for a possible title of this episode, so this is gonna be awesome.
Mud Wrestling by Morphin.
To the rest of to our viewers and to those of you tuning in on YouTube, sorry it's a little bit later, but I didn't get a chance to run last week, and I knew I wasn't going to get a chance to run next week, so I was kind of like, I'm going to keep this going a little longer. So,
I like it.
so I hope
like
it's
it.
not too late for you guys. But I felt really good, and I wanted to play a little longer because I missed it.
Yeah.
So, does anybody else have anything to chime in with, or anything going
I
on
think
they
that we
want to
should name
share
this
with?
episode keeping up with the keeping up with be
Keeping up with
whatever
the
our group
Zents.
is equivalent to the Kardashians this
Oh,
episode.
I actually
Keeping up with the
filmed
Kella.
my ankle being
Keeping
popped
up
back
with the
into
Kella.
place, so I'll post that video. Everyone in the chat, you'll get.
If you want to see a video of JJ's ankle getting snapped back into place, I'm sure he will be all over it on Twitter. So make sure you jump in there if you want to see one of those interesting videos.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello,
Welcome back.
welcome back.
Are we off?
Almost.
Not yet.
Almost.
Oh, okay.
But I want to thank
My
all of you
internet
for tuning in tonight. We appreciate you being here. And thank you guys once again. Awesome session. We will be back in 2 weeks for Storm King's Thunder, but don't forget to tune in next week for an awesome one-shot with Matthew. So, without further ado, thank you guys so much. We are going to head on off tonight. And thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Yo.
Uh,